Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast. I'm Ethan, joined by Polly Piper Pizza.
Hello.
And as always, Jacob behind the glass.
I am here always, yes.
And today, we have a very special guest returning for the second time, Mr. Brett. How you doing?
Heyo. Flying all the
way in from Chicago, Illinois.
Legit, no lie.
Literally this time, yes.
It's a businessman. Yeah. He's out on business.
Out on business. Real quick then, for everyone at the table, everyone in the studio, Chicago style over New York style. Which one?
New York.
Chicago's like the thick one, right?
Really like thick.
New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, I'm a New York style feller myself.
I don't discriminate. I will have to say, though, that my favorite of all time is the Chicago deep dish from Lou Malnati's Pizza.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I like the New York any less. I just like this one a little more.
That's fair. I think that's completely valid. Yeah. I don't think I've had a true Chicago style unless it was like Little Caesars deep dish.
Next time you come over. Next time you come over, I'm ordering it. And you're going to try it.
Okay, I'm down to try it.
For that, yeah.
It's like, it's just more pizza.
Any type of pizza.
Though.
What was that?
Any type of pizza.
Any type of pizza is really good, yeah.
I'll convert you.
It's hard to make bad pizza.
Agreed.
There's a place in Vegas that we go to, like every time we're there. They get deep dish. It's like the one place I'll get it. They cook like the pepperonis in the cheese. It's like, it's weird, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Happiness?
Yeah.
Happiness. Okay, so now on the other end of the spectrum, really thin crust pizza. How do we feel about that?
You just said there's no bad way to make a pizza.
I know.
I stand by this.
Okay.
I like thin pizza.
Yep. I like thin crust.
Like how thin are we talking here?
Like crisps.
Crunchy.
Like a cheese crisp type?
Not quite.
Not that thin.
That's what I'm thinking of thin. Like I like thin like New York style. So it's got like a little bubbly crust kind of like on the edge, and then it's like
thinner than that.
Probably
it's like
not.
thin and more like
flimsy.
You know, like when
crunchy,
they cut it
I
in
guess.
squares, it's just
Kinda
like
like
a
graham
square.
cracker.
Oh
pizza.
yeah, I mean I'll eat that, but I won't like go out of my way to get it. It's pizza, like you guys are saying, pizza.
Pizza's pizza.
Like,
Pizza's pizza.
I'm literally happy with Little Caesars. Just give it to me in any form. Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
Wow. The episode that Gavin's not here where he...
You got the stupid Batman calzone thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's tier lists for pizza.
Yeah,
you guys should do
100%.
that in the future. But
We have one. We just need to update it.
but I mean,
Like Chuck E. Cheese was in D, but that's before we even tried it after years. And then
Cheese is good.
That's a good one now. I put it in A.
I feel like my whole tier list would just be S, A, and B. That's it. Yeah.
There's no C tier
Right,
pizza.
right.
Fair.
Well, when we made it, we also incorporated like price and quality and all that. So sometimes the more expensive pizza would take a hit on a lower tier, even though it was good.
If it's worth it, though, I mean,
If it's worth
you'll
it,
pay whatever.
That's what I always say. All the time. You know what else I always say? All right, Jacob. Let's churn this butter. And we're back.
Why do you say that? Like you just took a fat hit of a cigar or something?
Are you good?
I was coughing. Okay. All right. Let's get the bulk out of the way. Ray Liotta passed away.
Sad.
He's in B movie, guys. I'm not gonna be able to watch the movie the same way.
So
I'm not gonna like jazz anymore.
it's really funny that you say this because for years now, me and my friend Varush, who was my roommate, we have like this running inside joke of Ray Liotta. We both like the movie.
I already like where this is going.
We both like the movie Smoking Aces.
Oh, it's a good, yeah, I love that one. I was
Great
gonna
movie,
mention
right? So like one day we're hanging out and we're like trying to decide what movie to watch, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to watch Smoking Aces?" And I like really considered it, and I was like, "No, I just don't feel like looking at Ray Liotta's face right now." Like it's a lot to take in. Have you ever just looked at his face?
The disrespect.
Damn.
So it's funny you mentioned all this though, because today he texts me, and I'm in the airport. I have no idea what's going on. And he just says, "You finally got what you wanted."
Oh my God.
And I said, "What's that?" And then he just sent me a picture of Ray Liotta. And I didn't know what was going on, so I just thought that was the setup to sting me with a picture. And I just responded, "Fuck you."
Oh my
No
god.
context behind it.
And I said, "How dare you make me see that with my face eyes?" And he said, "Brett, he died."
Oh my God.
So I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that." And then I'm reading this from my phone. Also, why is that what I always wanted? Like, if anything, it's the opposite. I don't hate the guy. I just don't like looking at his face. And now I'm going to have to see more of it in articles, in memoriams, tributes, all that. So
that's true.
That's my Nana's like celebrity crush, and it's her birthday tomorrow. Gosh.
My Nana's celebrity crush is Kevin Costner.
Oh, cool. Same thing.
Best friend right there. Or in Field of Dreams, his best friend, I guess.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait, well, in Field of Dreams.
Never seen Field of Dreams. I just know that they were in it.
They're probably friends in real life.
He's really going for the baseball thing.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm not going for the baseball thing.
You have a Diamondbacks hat on.
Mentions Field of Dreams.
Let's go D-backs, baby.
it matches your gray shirt.
Yeah,
D-backs
dude, I
winning
actually
the West.
decided to wear this shirt for this special occasion.
Oh, that's why you wear that
Yeah.
shirt?
It's the first. That's the original, isn't it?
No, it's not, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know which one's the original?
Yeah, because it's all worn down.
He
the
tells me every
tag.
time we go to work out. Just so you know, this is the original shirt, by the way. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't care.
Oh, you guys are working out
The
together?
original gray shirt.
Yeah, it's
cute.
been,
I've been
it's been
training
a
people,
trip.
man.
That's cute.
But yeah, the original gray shirt, I know which one it is. I'm able to identify it pretty easily. It's also, I think it was made differently too, if that makes sense.
It was priced differently as well, wasn't it?
Made with
was.
love.
Made with love. Well, it's a little thinner than the other ones. It's a little flimsier. If you just like held them up, you know?
Is that better or worse?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
More breathable in Arizona, I
I
guess.
guess. For those in the audience confused, I have 14
Pairs?
14 of the same gray shirt. And, just why complicate your wardrobe when you can just
Be an animated character.
Yeah, exactly. And then for the winter, I have 4 different gray hoodies. So
That's like a millionaire mindset. You know that? Like they just wear like one
Sure,
shirt.
there's
So
one
it's,
shirt.
It's like less decisions they have to make, so they can make more.
I even
ones
wore
later.
my gray pants today
Sigma mentality.
Yeah.
and my gray watch band.
You're basically Jeff Bezos.
I was going to say CEO mentality.
Mentality. But I did incorporate some black in the hat.
That's
so.
what it is, bro. So you see Mark Zuckerberg in the same like little, just regular T-shirt. Apparently, that's what I heard.
Apparently, that's.
I'll text him later and ask, but
Oh, okay.
Brand.
I'm really trying to remember. Oh no, we didn't review Goodfellas for this podcast. It was Godfather. Damn.
yeah, that's okay.
Well, mafia, potato. And that
same
episode was when
sentiments.
Brett was
Yeah.
on here. So look at that, just full circle.
Same sentiments. It's a
Pretty,
mob.
I'm
it's a
pretty
mob
sure
movie.
if we did Goodfellas, we would have heard from Brett how much he hates Ray Liotta. His face. Ray Liotta's
yeah,
face.
I don't have a problem with him as an actor. He's a great actor. He has a lot of face, and I don't
He has
like
a
it.
lot of face.
I don't like it.
He's got really cool eyes.
But yeah, I put this together just for us to enjoy. So Jacob,
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I used to quote that line all the time before I even saw the movie.
Beautiful.
You didn't even know what it meant, huh?
Didn't even know what it meant. But Goodfellas is one of my rare guilty movies that I like, made by Martin Scorsese. So one of the rare few.
I know you guys watch The Departed, but is there really not any others that you like?
The Departed I hated because it was just so crazy.
Like Shutter Island or
Ooh,
Wolf
Shutter
of Wall
Island's
Street.
good.
Wolf of Wall
Wolf
Street?
of Wall
Okay.
Street, I like that one.
That was good too.
Um,
There's a really good actress in that movie. I forgot her name.
you didn't forget her name. You're
Her
lying.
name's Margot Robbie, and I love her.
Margot Robbie's in About Time. You should watch that.
Oh, that's like Patrick's favorite movie. It's funny because I heard you say it.
Patrick's favorite movie?
He said it's one of his favorite movies. She's like really young, huh? It's like one of her very first ones, like over here, I think.
2014, I think.
Yeah.
2015,
It's
yeah.
early.
Isn't she
Isn't Rachel McAdams in it too?
Australian?
Yeah, she's in that too.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, maybe it was you that said it.
Okay, it's
That
probably
makes
That
more
might have been-
sense.
okay, actually,
It
never
makes
mind,
way
that
more
makes
sense.
Isn't Margot Robbie like Australian or something? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. She has kangaroos.
She's gonna play Barbie in a Barbie live action movie.
She's also going to play in the next Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is she? How unfortunate.
It's a great trilogy, right?
Because only the trilogy matters. That's
No,
literally.
I'll give this one a shot for no reason at all. Just been quite a bit of time since I made it, so I guess.
I know the last Pirates movie came out in 2017.
Yeah, see, it's been a while.
Jeez.
I know.
I didn't even watch it.
They were, I did.
I watched it once.
They were churning them out, and then nothing for 5 years. I had to do nothing. But yeah, so Ray Liotta passed away. He was in the B movie Field of Dreams. The B movie specifically. He was in Wild Hogs.
Smoking Aces.
Remember Smoking Aces?
Smoke in.
Smoking Aces.
It's weird to think about Wild Hogs because I just think of William H. Macy, who I can't see as anybody else but Frank Gallagher. Shameless.
I watched Wild Hogs all the time, knowing William H. Macy as like that kind of goofy character. So then watching Shameless was like,
who is this guy? Yeah.
yeah, I was like, this guy crazy. I think it made it goofier, made Frank's character goofier. But Shameless, good show.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Never seen it?
No. What a
Good.
shame, huh?
Don't watch it. What a shame. Hate you. Speaking of all these shows, the Cassian Andor Disney Plus show was announced a release date. The end of August, 2 episodes will premiere.
This August?
Yep. Huh. And it'll take place. The Star Wars expert.
I'm telling you, I don't like. My ear is not to the ground.
I like that.
I'm just an expert on all things.
I like that.
So it'll take place 5 years before Rogue One, and Cassian Andor, for those that don't know, was a main character in Rogue One.
Played by Diego Luna.
Played by Diego Luna. That is correct.
What a guy.
And I think we've talked about this before on the show, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on character stories being told after you know how their story ends, or like what happens to them.
I mean, I guess my thought is it doesn't necessarily matter too much because, I mean, think about any prequel. Like if you don't want to watch it because you already know what happens at the end, then any prequel ever in existence is just null. But, I mean, they could still tell a story, but I guess my question is who wanted this? Who asked for it?
Yeah.
You know?
I think, too, like, when it comes to characters, a lot of people like characters, but it's because they only get so much of them. It's like when you kind of go into it too much, it's like, it kind of ruins it. Just keep it, you know.
I think it could have the potential to be really good because one, you know, when I think about possibilities for Disney to make Star Wars shows, Cassian Andor isn't like high on my list.
Yeah.
But that means, you know, they can explore part of a character and make it interesting, I guess, because you don't know too much about him just from watching Rogue One.
My prediction is we're nearing the remake of the Old Republic for PS5, and that's gonna introduce a new generation of people to Revan, and I bet you that's gonna take off, and there's gonna be demand after that, and that's the kind of series that I'd be into and be hoping for.
Let me look up because
That's coming out here pretty soon. That remake.
It's the remake, huh?
Yeah.
is there a release date for that?
I don't know yet, but I mean, I follow a bunch of like video game channels, and they're already like talking about like it coming up here pretty soon.
That's like a huge side of Star Wars that no one's explored yet, and it's probably like all of our favorites.
Well, I think all of our favorites for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah,
where
100%.
a huge chunk of it is we were also unaware of that era too, so we were exploring the world.
Shout out to Jacob.
Shout out Jacob.
Shout out Jacob.
Howdy.
But with Disney Plus show, at the time of this is recording, Kenobi comes out in a couple hours.
Midnight.
So next week we'll probably talk about the first 2 episodes briefly. All these rumors and leaks that are coming out and who's going to be in it. And I think with every piece of content that comes out, whether it's something like Kenobi or even Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, it always gets crazier and crazier with the expectations and rumors of who's going to be in it, what's going to happen. So then when you finally, or if you pay attention to those rumors and actually expect it, then you're kind of let down when you don't receive what your high expectations
I
are.
haven't listened to anything at all.
You're good. You'll probably
I'm gonna
really enjoy
I'm gonna
Kenobi.
be real happy.
You're the one who like watches the trailer once, right? And that's it.
Yep, I've seen the Kenobi trailer maybe twice.
That's really cool. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
because most of the time you just set yourself up for failure.
like the YouTube videos where they're like analyzing every frame
all the
of
Easter eggs
trailers
and stuff.
I used to be like that, and then it becomes too much.
I have not done that for any piece of Star Wars media.
I saw a bunch of those
Or video games, for
for
that
Doctor
matter.
Strange, and like how they were able to just like find in pieces of the trailer and imagery some of the hidden characters in it.
Yeah.
And while that's cool, at the same time, it's like if you go
Why?
in with zero
Yeah.
expectations, you can be nothing but blown
Exactly.
away. So.
That's how I feel about the Diamondbacks.
That's fair, actually.
That's actually they're
They're hitting some dingers.
Yeah,
some
they are.
dingers against the Dodgers tonight, huh? I
Yeah.
think they're losing.
Damn. Probably.
You know, I heard someone say they're like, man, sports is just like filled with disappointment. You're gonna be disappointed more than you are gonna be happy.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're losing 6-0.
If you think about it, every sport, only one team is
Yeah.
going to win in the end.
And like, how often have you seen your team win?
Never.
Never.
Exactly. So think of all the times you've been a fan, like how disappointing that's been.
I mean, but the real prize is the friendships. That they have.
Oh yeah, he knows.
He knows. He gets it.
He gets it.
He gets it.
The
Yeah.
friendships.
With the talk of Disney Plus and all the shows, in recent news, I think in the past week or two, Marvel and Disney came to an agreement where they own the rights to Stan Lee's likeness.
I
Now-
did see that. Yeah.
So they can like computer generate him into stuff now.
Is that like to continue like the cameos and stuff?
Yeah.
Like that little thing?
Or
Or you
like-
think it's going to be bigger than that?
They're
gonna be a
very.
superhero?
I looked up the article.
Stan
and
Lee movie?
It's, oh my! Stan Lee the movie played by Stan Lee.
Gives me Hugh Hefner vibes.
First, like,
Well, I know that in like some of the recent Marvel productions, like
He
they
played Hugh Hefner in Iron Man 2.
That's right.
That's right. Okay, that's probably why I think that.
But like in some recent Marvel productions, it's just like they have a picture of him on the wall
Yeah.
somewhere. Like
I
they
feel like
went
that's
by.
all you need.
Right.
Well, so here's the article. It says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the agreement states Lee's likeness is licensed for use in the future feature films and television productions, as well as Disney theme parks, various experiences, and merchandising. So it's very broad,
Maybe they'll have him on
not
like
very
a
specific.
like a cameo in the Avengers part of the park or something.
Yeah, and I can see them using that
cool.
aspect of it, but it's how far do you think they're willing to go with it? Do you think they're willing to just have a full CGI Stan Lee character and as a cameo, and then it at that point it doesn't feel like a cameo? It was just put in there. It's not really Stan Lee. Just
I think it's more special because what was his last cameo?
his last cameo was, I believe, Endgame.
Was it Endgame?
Yeah,
I feel like that just kind of makes sense too. I mean,
was it?
I feel like it was.
I feel like it was a Spider-Man.
I feel like it was one
Like one
more
after, right?
that. Yeah.
No, I feel like it was Endgame
Well, either ways, it's like
because
it's kind of his last
Endgame was
hurrah.
filmed the same time as Infinity War.
Ethan is
Was-
googling it right now.
was
Yeah, it was an Endgame.
Was it?
He played a de-aged one. Remember when they went back in time to the military base?
That's right,
with Iron
yeah.
Man. He was a driver. He was de-aged. So yeah, that was his last cameo.
See, I think that's like a good way to just
Good
like send him
send-off.
off. Yeah, there's no need to keep it. I do like the park like idea. I guess that'd be kind of cool. You can take a picture with Stanley and like other superheroes around you.
I think it personally. My thought is like it's fine as long as they do it like tastefully.
Justice.
I don't really think they. My personal opinion is, I don't want to see like
a Stanley animatronic?
I don't like what they did with Mark Hamill in like the most recent season of Mandalorian, right? Where
Yeah.
they like de-aged him and like put him in.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that in a movie.
Uh-huh.
Just he's dead. Keep him that way. But like let him play himself in the park or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's cool.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah, because Mark Hamill's still alive and was involved in those projects.
I just saw that on Instagram too, like him filming. It just looks really weird.
Mark Hamill?
Yeah, it's like the before and like the after,
Yeah.
like how it looks.
It's
I'm like,
really cool, but
it is.
like, it came out better than
Totally.
when he
I-
first came up in the season 2 of the Mandalorian. It kind of looked a little weird. So in Boba Fett, when they did the
Yeah.
whole Luke, it looked a lot better.
In
was
in
kinda surprised.
season 2 of The Mandalorian, he was there on set and they did all this filming and stuff, but they apparently didn't use any of it. They just used it as more reference
For his voice, dude.
for his
yeah.
voice and everything, but they didn't use any of his facial stuff. And I think that's probably what hurt them. But
Did it?
Who
look
knows? I'm
weird?
not-
I didn't see it. Did it look weird?
Yeah. I mean, you
You could
could
tell that it's
tell.
yeah,
it's that thing you guys talk about where like.
It's like the
Soul,
Superman
yeah.
mustache thing.
Oh yeah.
It was
I
close
don't
to
want to
that.
talk about
Not
that.
speak in
quite that
Paul's
bad.
language.
I don't want to
Yeah,
talk
I got
about that.
I'm putting it in Paul terms. It
yeah.
wasn't quite that bad,
but in Boba Fett, it was a lot better, and it was actually some of the best, quote unquote, deep fake work that I've seen. And then with The Mandalorian, season 3 was announced to come out in January 2023. So we'll see
I like that one. I'm excited for that.
Mandalorian season 4 since season 3 was Boba Fett. But, you know,
yeah, pretty much.
No complaints about that. I mean,
I haven't seen any of it.
It's really good.
But yeah.
That's the first time I'm learning about this too. So thank you, Ethan.
you're welcome. This has been your Disney and Marvel update of the week on the White Noise Podcast. And with that point, let's get into the movie review this week. And there we go. Yeah, we have a transition to the movie review now.
Nice.
So this past week we were watching The Florida Project, an indie film starring Willem Dafoe and a bunch of other people too. Let me read you their names. Brooklyn Prince, Bria Vinate, Willem Dafoe, Christopher Rivera, bunch of people. And set in the shadow of the most magical place on Earth, 6-year-old Mooney and her two best friends forge their own adventures, while Mooney's struggling mom and a kind-hearted motel manager protect the kids from the harsh reality that surrounds them. So, gentlemen, what were your overall thoughts of this movie? Let's start with Paul first.
Okay, my initial thoughts, right? So it's going to sound really harsh, but like I don't like kids. so once I turned it on, I was like kind of pissed. But yeah, so it was hard to watch in the beginning, and then until things started getting like established, like, oh, it's actually pretty cool. I thought they had great visuals. What's the what is it?
Cinematography?
Yeah, cinematography and all. It's like this. Who makes it? It's 42 or
A24.
A24, right? Forgive me, dyslexia. They have that same kind of like vibe, and I think it was like good. I like the artsy feel to it, and overall it kind of made me feel weird because it wasn't like a normal movie where you're like, it was more of like a grounded movie, which I actually kind of liked because everything, like every time movies are on, it kind of takes you out of like the real world, and it's like our escape. But this one actually like brought you into like the real world and made you feel kind of bad. So yeah, overall I think it was good. It was one of those movies where I'm not going to say the rating yet, but it was one of those really good ones where I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah. And with the whole thing of kids, like when it first opened with the kids, I was like, oh yeah, there's kids in this movie. And then like 20 seconds later, they're cursing and yelling these obscenities. And I was like, oh.
It was relatable at that point.
It's going to be an entertaining movie.
It reminded me of myself.
And then, Brett, what did you think? I know you've seen it before.
Yeah, so, I mean, I watched this movie initially in theaters, and that was the first and last time I've seen it. So when I heard that was the movie, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch this. So I love this movie. Loved it then, loved it still. It kind of maybe hits home a little more for me because that was very similar to my childhood. I grew up, abusive stepdad, but then when my mom was free of that, she was very much the single mom raising us kids, and we were kind of free to do what we wanted a lot of the time. So it's interesting to watch this as an adult and be like, wow, that's me. Obviously, like not to this extent by any means, but still, I loved it, and great movie, absolutely.
Yeah, so I too enjoyed it, and like Paul said, it is one of those more grounded movies. I can't remember what movie we reviewed before where we kept saying how grounded it was and how real it felt. But very, what was it?
Maybe Phone Booth, maybe? No.
It might have been Phone Booth, but I'm not sure. But with this movie, there very few movies can make you feel like you're in the real world, very grounded, make you feel uncomfortable. A movie that I relate the feeling of how real it feels, how uncomfortable you feel, is A Marriage Story. Because that's a very grounded story, and like when watching it, you kind of feel like you're in the room with these people yelling at each other, and it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Good soup.
Good soup.
Is that where that's from?
It's not that movie.
It's not that movie.
Oh, okay, I was like, there's no way.
I was like, I don't remember that.
I've never seen it, but I also thought, like, I think this is similar to A Marriage Story, because I heard the same kind of reviews.
Yeah.
Of, like, the grounded.
So, I personally like the indie film, really smaller plots, I guess, not these big spectacle blockbuster films. I enjoyed how I noticed with the cinematography, the camera angles are always kind of from a kid's point of view. So it's always kind of looking up or with that lower perspective, like in a cartoon where an adult's head is cut off and you can't see their face, like in the classic Tom and Jerry cartoons or something. Powerpuff Girls. But I enjoyed it with that aspect, and then it allowed them to make the cinematography more beautiful looking, unique, because it was like, we're in a kid's world. This is how the kids see the world. The world's their playground, with the fireworks scene, with their adventures they go on climbing the tree.
It's funny you say that, because I also wrote down they did a great job at capturing like a child's innocence and then bringing it into like an adult's ugly world.
Yeah.
And that's really like eye-opening. I was like, oh.
I wanted to ask you guys, what are your opinions of Haley as a mom?
You know, it's funny
She's
you say
a great
that.
actor.
Yeah.
She's a great actress. So it's funny because last week we were talking about parents not disciplining their kids when we were talking about work stories last week.
I remember what Gavin said.
Yeah, I remember what Gavin said too. But so it's just, I think it comes down to that, like being a good role model for your kid. Kind of, yeah, you're in these unfortunate circumstances, but you still need to be that example for your kid and kind of teach them like the ways of the world. Because with Haley teaching Mooney to act up all the time, like spitting on people's cars and just verbally abusing people, it's not going to get her much further than Haley is. But given the circumstances, it's not for me to say like what she could have done better. I don't have a kid. I don't know the experience of being a parent, especially in those circumstances.
You can definitely feel like the immaturity. Like she's more of like a friend than a mom. But it was still like in a loving way though. Like you could still sense like she was doing her best with what she had. And it's like an awkward like that's what made it, I guess, more uncomfortable was like, oh man, like they really
there is love there. It's not just this negligence.
They're really down on their luck right now, and it's just like they're kind of doing the best they can with what they got. So
yeah, I mean, I felt that she was a very, albeit flawed, good mom. Like you can tell she had such love for her kid, put her kid's interest above everything, to the best of her ability, which isn't very high, you know. She's clearly like not a very smart person and doesn't really see too far into the future, but like just several things that she sacrificed. Like it, you know, at the end she gives the lady your bag weed. Like you know how much she loves that. She literally was wearing a hat the entire movie that says, "Can we smoke weed in here?" Yeah. Like every time she's with her friends, can someone get me a blunt? Like she just gave that all up for the chance of having her kid.
I never noticed those subtle things either until you bring it up right now.
And what really hit me the most in the theater, like I actually cried in the theater when I saw this movie, and again today on the plane.
Oh damn!
The times when it shows Mooney in the bathtub, and you're like, what's going? Like I don't understand. So you see her in the bathtub 3 times, and you're like, they keep coming back to this bathtub. What's going on? And then you see the other end, what's on the other side of the door. And I mean, I'm sure that you thought that's what was happening, but until it's actually like, no, this is literally like her mom is prostituting herself out for money for them to live.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't even catch that until like the third scene. I was like, oh my gosh, now I get why they're doing this.
It relates to that scene of the editing of how it showed these spurts of these actions, like where she'd be doing something and then it cut abruptly to something else, and kind of just showing the chaos of the life of her life and what Haley does to provide for them.
I remember when I watched this movie the first time, this is one of those movies that I was like think about it for days after, and I just had a lot of questions that I needed to like find answers for. Like one, I was like, these kids are either incredible actors or like none of this was written down, and it's actually the latter. Like most of the dialogue between the kids, it's all improv.
Really?
They just like let the kids hang. They just let the kids hang out and say whatever they wanted, and they filmed it, and they kept in what they liked.
That makes sense, though. Yeah,
I will say when like Mooney at the end when she does like her crying bit. Like that was
insane.
They're so good.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, what did they do to make her cry? Because that's very real.
And I kept trying to look at her, and like I felt like she was looking to like the upper right corner. But like at the end of the day, like all these actors and actresses in this movie were really spot on. Like they're perfect.
And most of them were undiscovered too.
Yeah.
The director Haley,
found Haley on Instagram,
right? And Jancy, he just saw her in Target.
Oh really?
And was like, hey, do you want to be like in a movie? And the kid that plays Scooty actually lived at the
motel.
Yeah.
How do you find Willem Dafoe?
With that too is while they were filming it on the motels were still active. They were still doing business. So you'd see some like real people that were actually living there or coming and going, and it made the environment feel much more real. Even the helicopter noises, like they didn't have the budget to not have those helicopters there, so they wrote the helicopters in the script.
Oh, that's cool.
Telling the actors like, hey, when a helicopter's going around, react to it, so it doesn't seem like we're just trying to ignore it, and then it makes the movie flow better.
I find myself really liking movies where they just let the people and the actors do whatever they want, and then if it works well, they keep it in there. And that was a great chunk of this movie. And one thing that I was really like curious about is obviously like this is like the tourist trap area next to Disney World. And I was like, what is Disney's opinions about them doing all this? And apparently they never consulted Disney at all. Like, they just mentioned them. They showed a Disney logo in there a few times, but all of that was without Disney permission.
Showed the bracelets and everything.
Even the last scene with the girls running
and Disney. I was like, how'd they get that footage?
They did that without permission from Disney. They literally just walked like through Disney and like filmed that, and then like, yep, good. Got film releases from everybody involved, and
Also, Willem Dafoe. I really liked his character. He was a very grounded, just like a normal human being.
You never see that from him either.
No, he was just like that one scene where they turn the lights off and he's like, oh man, I want to watch the game tonight. Like just that little stuff. I was like, dang, he's just a normal guy just doing his best that he can.
Or like when he approached the older man watching.
That made me so uncomfortable.
Good.
And how I didn't
know
he
where
really
going.
was like, as much as those kids caused him a lot of what's the word?
Grief,
stress, caused him a lot of stress and grief. He really looked out for them and always had an eye on them.
He's just a good guy.
He was nominated for Oscar for this role.
I know, and
Just great. He didn't.
I don't know what
he got.
Won that year.
He got a couple of awards, but the smaller ones, not like the Academy Awards, which are well deserved. He did good playing this role, really finding his range. And then with that, he, even a week before filming, he stayed on at the motel for a week.
Oh, nice.
Kind of getting a feel for the environment, getting a feel for the people, even the way those people talked, and trying to really establish a relationship with them to make it feel like he actually runs this place and get in that rhythm of it.
That's cool.
I guess my one complaint is I would have liked to maybe see more of the storyline with him and his son.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I love Caleb Landry Jones for sure. Incredible. You guys see Get Out? He was so good in that movie. Oh my god! But like, they had just a few scenes, and he was talking about.
It was like he was just helping him, right?
He was helping him, like, and he probably went there more. I don't need the money. It was more of a
time.
He
was like, it's an hour and a half
to spend with his dad.
It's like, I told her happy birthday. It's like, you call her and tell her, but I didn't say
exactly.
They just left it blank. Yeah.
And they gave just enough context so we can figure out what that's about. But I maybe would have liked to see more of that.
A little bit more of that. Yeah. It kind of shows just the movie in a nutshell is about relationships and how people interact with each other and the different relationships there are, whether it's the motel manager that you live at or it's the adult version of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
To add to that, it's also very much about class. Like, we're all like upper middle class here, and so any of the struggles that Haley had here, that's not really something that we see very much. So even if we had the same relationships, just the aspect of money and family and location and all of that drastically changes everything.
Yeah.
So.
I actually wrote that in my notes too, like that this was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, you don't see this, and for them to make a movie and make you feel it, it was very well created.
I remember looking up the actress that played Haley, and she was unknown before this, right? I remember reading a while back that they wanted somebody like big to play this person, but ultimately they decided against it because they didn't want like a millionaire playing the role of like a impoverished mom, which great decision.
Yeah.
Great decision.
But that's why I think Willem Dafoe did such a great job, because he really brought himself down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we know him from so many other movies that it was like,
and I also
made
felt
you
like
believe.
he didn't like overtake the spotlight either.
Yeah.
Like
It wasn't his movie.
He was there, but it wasn't a Willem Dafoe movie.
He was
Exactly.
nominated for supporting actor.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember looking up the trailer too, and I was like, I don't know what this is about.
Yeah.
And then like just everything else, I had no idea what this is. A random story.
Didn't know what to expect. And I like going into movies not knowing anything, which is what I'm going to do with next week's movie.
I was going to ask, do you have one picked out? Because regardless of what the movie is, I do have a recommendation if you like this movie for you. And that is, I'm begging you to watch Mid-90s if you haven't.
Mid-90s.
That is written and directed by Jonah Hill, and it's also about kids in the 90s, and it is incredible.
I'll have to see if Gavin hasn't seen it. I know he loves Jonah Hill, so maybe he has. But
I mean, there's really no, like, you would never watch this and be like, oh, I see Jonah Hill in here. You don't. Like,
okay.
Incredible movie. So good.
Is he just the director, or is he actually in the movie?
He wrote and directed it. He's not in the movie.
Oh, okay. You can't tell it's like his.
No, you wouldn't see this and be like, oh yeah, I see. It's not like
Super bad,
There's no super bad.
Doesn't have his
He's got
trademark
range.
on it.
This
Yeah.
Jonah
He
Hill's got
does.
some range.
It's an A24 movie too.
That's an actor. Yeah, A24 just favorites.
So one thing I found myself doing throughout the movie, we're still on the movie, I guess,
Crying.
is the main character. Who would you say the main character was? Like
Mooney.
Mooney.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So, while I know you've seen it twice, I kind of want to go back and watch it again. Who you think about who the main character is, who the story is following, kind of changes your perspective from what I've read of the movie. Like, someone watched it and saw, like we all did, Mooney as the main character. It's go back and watch it, seeing Haley as the main character, and see how it changes your perspective.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, oh, I might have to watch it twice then.
And that's when I think that maybe your perspective of Haley, anybody listening, may change, because it's very easy to see her as a villain in some parts, just because of how much she neglects and doesn't like put the foot down with her daughter. But at the same time, you know, if you look at her and be like, she's just trying to do what's best, but she maybe doesn't understand what's best. So I think doing that too might also change your opinion.
Okay. Well, that's the Florida Project. Paul, what would you rate it?
So like I said, this is a really good movie. I'd give it a 90%. But it's just one of those, like, I don't have to watch it again.
Okay.
Just because I guess I was so uncomfortable. I mean, I would show it to somebody and be like, actually, I wouldn't show it to somebody. I'd feel weird.
That was my experience with 12 Years a Slave. Love that movie. We'll never watch it again.
Yeah, okay.
So brutal and so hard to watch.
But it's one of those really good movies
so
where it's
good,
like, like I have a lot of praise for it. I don't have really much of the, like I said, the opening scene was like the biggest part that I hated, but it's because I had no idea what to expect. And I just saw kids, and naturally I just don't like kids.
All right.
But 90% would never watch it. I would watch it if it's on.
So you'd watch it if it's on?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, I would never watch that. I would go watch the Mercury play.
Brett, what would you rate it?
This is a near perfect movie for me. Like I said, I just have the Willem Dafoe complaints again. I would have liked to see maybe more of that story. It was a pretty long movie, but it could have been longer for me. I mean, I know that's not the popular opinion on this show, but
I like long movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 94.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it.
Yeah. Is it? I didn't look it up.
I think it was 94, 96.
Oh wow.
It was pretty high.
Interesting.
He
Rotten
only
Tomatoes,
looks at Rotten Tomatoes at rotten
That are bad.
scores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Never mind.
We'll never talk about this on my podcast.
All right, cool. I think that's fair.
96. Okay, that was close.
I would give it an 89%.
Oh.
I would give it a 90, but I don't want to be the same as Paul. I'm not going to give it a 91 because it's not better than Encanto. Just kidding, guys.
I never
Much
watched
better than
Encanto, but I watched this one.
Yeah, where's your
Brought it up
Encanto
on
rating
your
this
own.
week?
My Encanto is probably I heard the song the other day, so it's probably at an 83 right
Well,
now.
he was
By the
working
way,
out.
someone from Encanto is going to be at Comic-Con this weekend.
Yeah?
I never watched Encanto, so I don't know.
Stephanie Beatrice?
Me
No,
either,
it's
Brett.
like Diane something. What's her last? Diane Guerrero? I don't know if she plays
I don't
in
know
Encanto.
anybody other than Stephanie
I'm just going
Beatrice.
to tell you this right now, Brett. Don't be surprised if you see Ethan randomly there.
I mean,
Hat
Not
on.
going to
fair.
be there.
Encanto hat on.
In Encanto.
I don't have an Encanto hat. I couldn't find one in men's sizes.
He's got a poster getting ready to sign.
You're just wearing like a kid's snapback, but the back's not latched. It's just
This is
open.
the one time you'll see him not in a gray t-shirt. It's in a Encanto t-shirt, trying to get it signed.
Okay, so
I hate Ethan.
I hate myself too, dude. I'm right there with you. So next week we have Brothers for the movie of the week.
That's a good one.
Something that I've wanted to watch before but never got around to it. So now I will be forced to watch it. And we
That's,
will see it's Tobey Maguire and Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal, I
Gyllenhaal,
think.
yeah.
So
And
They're talking about the one with the tigers.
Padme.
Tigers.
Tiger King.
Wasn't there a movie about like two tigers? They were brothers.
Isn't that like a Vegas show? You got something about
know.
Vegas?
Shut up with you.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, Brothers is a movie with Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal.
And who's the girl? Who's the lady?
Let me check.
Are you kidding me?
Speaking of,
I've never Natalie Portman.
Natalia
duh.
Portman, dude.
Duh.
Padme.
Did you know Jake Gyllenhaal was going to play Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 because Tobey Maguire broke his back on Seabiscuit?
I thought you were going to say he broke his back carrying Spider-Man 1.
Willem Dafoe helped him. Carry,
That's why I was like, I had complaints with that. I was like, did you not see Willem Dafoe?
So siblings Sam, played by Tobey Maguire, and Tommy, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, are as far apart as brothers can be. While Sam serves his country as a Marine, Tommy is a drifter who just got out of prison. When Sam is shot down and presumed dead in Afghanistan, Tommy vows to take care of Sam's wife, Grace, played by Natalie Portman, and his children. Or played by Natalie Portman, and then take care of his children, too. Tommy and Grace become close, and when Sam unexpectedly returns home, the consequences of their actions threaten the foundation of the entire family. So it's Pearl Harbor.
I'm really...
hate those movies.
Hey, Kate Beckinsale, though. But I'm really interested to see how, like, because this movie is supposed to be like a sad, like, kind of traumatic movie as well, but like the difference between what we just watched now and to what you're about to watch. It'll be interesting to see your perspective on it.
I'm excited to see my perspective on it. Who's the war guy? It's Tobey Maguire, right?
Tobey Maguire,
and then
yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, because Tobey Maguire gets a lot of crap for his bad acting,
I think he did really good in this one.
so I'm excited to
Really
see
well.
him in this.
I think I've seen clips of that. Is that where he's like on his knees in the desert, like captive? And
Yeah.
they like shoot somebody in
Spoilers.
front of him.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, you just said he's
That's
presumed dead.
That's a big one right there, Jacob.
I've seen clips of that. Okay.
I think I've seen clips of it too because I just see Tobey Maguire yelling a lot, and it's not in a
That
Spider-Man
sounds like,
costume.
whoa,
So
okay.
Hey, you leave that cool youth pastor alone.
that's what he did look like.
I want a jacket like that.
Cool youth pastor. Oh, man.
All right, so next week, be sure to watch Brothers, and we will review it. So
Good
yeah,
one.
there you go.
I like that one.
Came out in 2009. It's rated R, so keep the kiddos at home.
Exquisite.
I accidentally saw that one.
Exquisite.
He's here.
Oh, he's here. All right, so with that, let's get into Road Rage. Road Rage. We don't have a thing for Road Rage, so
Not yet.
beep beep.
Chronological development.
That's probably what it'll be. You'll hear tire screeches and then a honk, and then Gavin will be like, "What the?" and then something will cut him off.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
A driver.
Go rent a studio to professionally mix your transition sounds.
This is a studio, Brett.
I mean, do it here, yeah.
In our own studio.
I'd also
Yeah,
like to say
another studio.
that they flew him out here. That's how he made his.
Yeah,
flights.
thanks for the budget for the show. I didn't know
You're
you guys
welcome.
could.
Yeah, I mean,
spread
if
that
you're
expense.
even if you're not in Arizona, you reach out to us to see if you want to be on the show, and we will talk about how much it costs to fly out here.
It will provide literally tens of dollars for you to be here.
Tens of dollars. Did
Can hope.
I will give you Gavin's personal phone number to talk to him and have him arrange that. All right,
Exquisite.
1-800 exquisite.
1-800 exquisite. All right, Road Rage. So, Mr.
right.
Paulie Piper,
so
you're on the road 60 hours a week, no AC. Tell us about it.
yeah. So I guess we can start off right there, right? So I'm a delivery driver, obviously, and this past week it's been 4 days. I've had no fucking AC, and we're in Arizona.
4 days.
That's 103-degree weather out there, right?
Illegal.
And I know it's called abuse, and I'm doing physical work all day. And I just want you guys to understand, like, the cab that I'm in, like, there's a big, huge diesel engine, and it's just fuming.
I bet.
So I've been really fucking miserable I've been very irritable, too. So not only is this, like, a road rage segment for me, but it's also, like, a customer segment as well. Because I've been, like, a fucking dick to everybody, man.
Hey, at least if you get thirsty, you're good.
I hate that. I hate when they tell me that. They say, at least you got water, huh? You got cold water? I'm like, shut the fuck
I know you had to hear that all the time.
I hear it all. You know what else I hear all the time that I hate? Oh, you don't have to work out anymore. I do.
I mean,
That's
how
where he ends the sentence.
how
I
drenched
do.
is your uniform by the end of the day?
Dude, you should see my boxers, bro. This is
Show us right now.
like it's to the
trying
point
to.
to where it's to the point to where it's like it's cooler to get outside of my truck and be in the heat. That's how bad it is.
That's awful.
And I've been doing 100 stops a day because we have a Memorial Day and I'm doing extra holiday stops.
Jeez.
It's been terrible, guys. I've had like I'm on vacation, by the way. I'm going to Laughlin tomorrow, so like I'm super
So
happy
you
now.
said.
But so back to the road rage. Everything is just irritating me now because I'm not hourly. It's hot as fuck, right? So like I'm just getting cut off left and right. There's no AC. It's just hot air blowing into my hot cab. And I've just been in a pissy mood. And I'm good now.
When are they gonna get it fixed?
Okay, so I actually talked to the mechanic today. So the issue is we have like these whole mechanical parts. So that's just like a nationwide thing, right, for car parts. And so I talked to him. I was like, hey, dude, like, I'll go. So he said he'll have it fixed by tomorrow, which I'm not working tomorrow, so I don't care. But he said, if not, it'll be Saturday, and if not, it'll be Monday. So I come back on Tuesday. So if it's not done by Tuesday, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. But here's the issue, too, is that on my phone, right, is like where I have all my deliveries. So it'll be like 80 stops, and I have it routed to where like I click the next. It tells me how much they want, what they usually order. And then I confirm their order. Boom. That's how I get paid. That's how they get charged.
Like, is it on your phone or do you have?
It's a work phone.
Okay,
it's a work phone. Yeah. So we have a little dock for it, like so we could drive, and it has like a maps thing, so you can click on it and it tells you where to go. So the issue is, it's on the dock and it's just getting beamed on by the sun in a hot cab, so it overheats. It's an iPhone. Oof. So like, there's times where I literally have to go find shade, and then just like grab my cold water bottles. And then, like, just smother my phone until it cools down enough so I can continue on with my day.
And you're not hourly either.
And I'm not hourly, so those 20 minutes, I'm just pissed. I'm just, ooh.
Cursing to yourself.
And I've been getting cut off lately with no blinker. And here's the issue. All right, don't be fucking lazy. The blinker is right next to the steering wheel. That is my biggest issue I have. It doesn't take much. And here's another thing. It's not for you assholes. For everybody. It's for, you don't own the road. The blinker is to let the people around you know where you're going. It just makes things more efficient and things can move smoother.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's what you need to do, Paul. Go get like a little lunchbox ice chest.
I do have one.
Get some some of like those freezy packs or whatever. Then if your phone overheats, just chuck it in there for 10 minutes. Drive to your next stop.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to.
It's a good thing it's going to be fixed by Tuesday.
You know what pissed me off, too, about this? Was like...
Oh, no. Please tell us what pissed you off, Paul.
So I'm telling my managers, right? And everyone acts like this is just like a normal thing. Like, oh, yeah, you know AC? Okay. Like, we don't live in Arizona. We're not just, you know what I mean, just burning up. And so what they did was they gave me a phone cooler. So it's like
exist?
one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things where you put on the back of your phone and it, like, cools it. I'm like, fuck the phone. What about me? You guys are concerned about this.
Where's the person cooler?
What about a Paul cooler?
Yeah, dude. I was so peed off that I stopped using it.
Does your work uniform have like button up?
No, I wear long sleeves.
Aw, damn.
Also,
I do have polos.
Can I just point out how
Just
Paul
like unbutton with a wife beater underneath.
Can I just point out how Paul's like, this fucking is awful, and then he's like, it peed me off. You know, because we're about censorship here.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oops.
That's part of his normal vocabulary.
Yeah. I'm trying to change, guys. I'm trying to change.
Peed me off.
Peed me off.
As I'm driving, these motherfuckers peed me off, right? And then my camera goes off, too, because so when it catches me looking down at my phone, because it has to be off the case, which means it can't be on the dock, so I have to look down to see where I'm going. The camera goes off. I've been flipping that thing off so many times, so every time they see it go off, they see the last 30 seconds of my drive, and they see me just staring at it, flipping it off, pointing at my phone. And I haven't been talked about it yet, so
Nice.
I think we're good.
They're like, we're not going to touch that.
I'm like, you know,
this guy doesn't have AC.
I can't wait to see your employee of the month photo.
I'm drenched. What's cool is that my manager just got me, he just made us some t-shirts, and they're like sleeveless for working out. So I kind of just want to like, my thing is like I want to wear it like you were saying, Jacob, and just be in a wife beater and like have the thing go off. Like, what the fuck is he doing? And then they just see me just pissed off. Oh, I'll get that footage and we can post it.
All right, sounds good.
I'll get that.
Model employee over here, Paul.
Oh, not even.
Every time I see one of those trucks around it, just think of you. I'm like, damn, don't got no AC. I bet that truck has AC.
He's like, damn, I want to cut that motherfucker off. Yeah, thanks, man.
When I get mad at somebody trucks, I say, fuck you, Paul. And I keep going.
Thanks, man.
Gotcha.
Thanks, man.
My couple of my coworkers were like, yeah, man, I was just, you know, it was hot yesterday, and I was thinking about you because, you know, my AC doesn't work good, but damn, you have no AC. I was like, fuck you guys. It's 6:30 in the morning. I don't want to talk to you. Load my truck.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. So hopefully Tuesday,
Hopefully.
I'll leave a comment.
We'll hear from it. We'll leave an update. We'll update the people, letting them know. And then, Brett, you got any road wage for us?
Here's the thing. Like, I don't drive a lot, but I'm also not a rage person. I don't know.
always
Like,
pissed. It's always pissed.
it takes a lot to like physically make me mad. But I do have something to share. So it was mentioned earlier, I was in Chicago these last few days for work. And so, you know, being in Chicago, it's a very public transport city, you know. Right. So I've taken a lot of Ubers over these last few days, and it's great. My work pays for them all, so no complaints, right? I just have to say, I've ridden in Ubers in the past, years ago, like especially like around Comic-Con time because downtown Phoenix, you're not using a car, Ubering around. So like my experience of Ubers is like I always have to like mentally prepare like what am I going to talk about in these Ubers, And so like I go to Chicago, I got in probably 7 or 8 Ubers over the last few days. Every single one of them, they don't say a word. 5 stars, 25% tip. Can't ask for 25%. Can't ask for anything better. But I do have to say, my Uber home today from the airport that I took home. This is as close to mad as I'd ever get.
Is this your Instagram story?
Yes. I posted my Instagram story, so Paul knows. But
I saw it too.
I love it.
So I get into the airport in Phoenix, right? And I order an Uber. There's like 10 people ordering an Uber. They were all on my flight, right? So I find one. It's this guy pulls up. He's actually in like his airport gear. So I think what he did is he's just an airport worker. And when he's like off, he just pops up Uber and then drives home, like drives the direction home, but on the clock, which is genius.
He's grinding.
Like, can you imagine driving home, but
making a few extra bucks?
Exactly. And you're taking somebody home for genius. I don't know if that's if he just does it for one ride, whatever.
I should
but
do that.
This guy was like a very big, muscular black guy, and he gets my bag and he puts it in the trunk, and he like I get in the back seat, and he's bumping his jazz in there. I'm like, I'm getting into it, and he looks in the mirror, and I make direct eye contact with him.
He sees those blue eyes,
and then he opens up his Pandora, which get on Spotify train, guy. Come on. He opens up his Pandora, and it was on some jazz artist, but he literally types in the words "Imagine Dragons" and pushes play. No, I know I'm a white boy, but Jesus,
he's more of a Maroon 5 guy.
I've never been so offended in my life.
He said he was vibing to the jazz too. That's what makes it even worse. Like,
Ryan Gosling would be so pissed about this. But no, like it played because Pandora, whatever radio you put in, it plays
like similar stuff.
No,
right?
well,
the first one is.
First it plays a song from that artist.
Oh, okay.
So it played an Imagine Dragons song. I can't name an Imagine Dragons song, but I know all of them. Yeah, okay, that's
Believer.
fine.
Okay.
Believer.
The grocery store's favorite artist, Imagine Dragons.
Yes.
So he plays that, and then like it goes to another song like Imagine Dragons. That
Guys,
again,
I don't want you to think I like Imagine Dragons because I know those songs.
I don't mind Imagine Dragons.
so I heard 3 Imagine Dragons songs on the way home from the airport, and I'm pissed.
Did you tell him anything?
No, I
were you
didn't
just
say
quiet
anything.
the whole time?
He was quiet again. Didn't say a word. 5 stars, 25% tip.
Did you jump in the back seat, right?
Of course, I don't want to be like.
Just get in the first.
I don't want to be on equal ground with somebody I don't want to talk to.
See, here's the thing: is like whenever we order Ubers, right? I'm always with Patrick because we're always going out, and it'll be us with like 2 other people, and me and him are like, we look at each other and we're like, who's gonna talk? Because it's either me or him who's like the personable one, and it'll be like, I don't feel like talking. You take the lead. All right, I'll take the lead, and we just like constantly flip. So that's interesting. I mean, I've never really been like a
try this next time. Neither of you say no words. Just see how it goes.
I just can't. Yeah. I just have to say something.
That's how I'd be. Like when I get my hair cut, please don't talk to me, bro.
No, that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. Because every time my entire life I've gotten a haircut, they never talk to me, but they talk to everyone else.
That's fine.
But
bro,
I get it.
Dude,
Yes.
awesome.
I don't care for talking, but it's like, why aren't you talking? Why don't you want to talk to me?
Oh my god, you're so annoying.
That's how it's been my entire adult life.
My last haircut that I just got last week, he seemed like a newer guy, so maybe that's why he didn't want to talk.
Oh, you change? Huh? You change barbers?
I don't have a consistent.
I was going to ask.
Like
you guys go
person, I go to the same barber shop. I don't go.
Just
I don't
different
the same
cut,
person
yeah.
every time. Yeah, but he just cut my hair. Didn't say a word. Just any question he asked me was about my hair, and he just worked.
And you gave him a fat old tip.
I did. Yeah,
thanks. He earned it.
Same lady has been cutting my hair for 6 years.
Oh, Crystalline?
No, she dyes my hair.
I'm just kidding. That's a coworker. No, so my barber actually like offers me like weed and beer. I've never taken any of it, but it's sick. Yeah, he's like, "You want a beer, man? You want a hit of this?" I'm like, "I'm good, bro. Just here to."
So it's funny you mention that because the barber I go to, going to her for 6 years. I followed her throughout her career to 4 different salons.
Done that before.
And she was at a salon very recently, like before where she's at right now. And like it's one of those salons you go in and they just give you a drink. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. I've never had a haircut like that. She's like, do you want any like beer or White Claw?
Wait, what?
I'm like, it's 9 a.m. on a Sunday, Justine.
Absolutely.
yeah, I'll take one. But,
Double fist it.
I'm just letting you know the time and day.
What the heck? Really?
yeah, I mean, she's not at that salon anymore, but I guess that's a new thing.
Well, I get these like on a rare occasion. He'll just be like, you want a beer, bro? I'm like, I feel like dirty if I take it. So I say no, but next time I gotta take it one time.
You got it, man.
I gotta do it once.
That's funny.
Nobody ever talks to me during my
Never
haircut.
turned down a drink.
That's true. It's impolite. Shame on me.
Actually, yeah, I've learned that.
It is, yeah. Huh?
When I go to deliveries for work, like,
I just say yes.
yeah, like I take a bunch of guys who are getting ready for a wedding to help them, like, get their suits. And they're at, like, an Airbnb or a hotel, and they offer me a drink. I'm like, I'm not going to turn down it.
What kind of drink is it, though?
I've had shots.
Oh.
I've had beer. I've had
Apple juice.
I feel like
White Claws,
cool though
Trulies.
because like you're getting them ready for their wedding. They want to party with like
Yeah,
the guy helping them out. Like, oh
yeah.
fuck it, this guy's cool.
Well,
That's a good experience.
One time in the store,
Tucks and Tails is
I was
awesome.
helping guys try on their suits and everything, and they were doing shots
that's
in the
dope.
store.
Did they bring something
They brought,
with them?
yeah.
they supplied
someone went to Fry's next door and got it, and they were doing it out of solo cups, and they offered me some as our busiest time of year, where people are waiting to try on, and I was like, guys, we have to use these dressing rooms for other people, so can we speed it along?
But yeah, give me a shot. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go.
It is pretty
Just
busy, so
take
yeah, I'll
one.
take two. Dang, I wish they'd do that for me on my job now.
Yeah,
Driving,
driving.
just offer me water.
But
Bitches.
it's funny that you mentioned the whole Uber, like they don't talk the entire time,
Yeah.
and you get 5 stars, because I do have written on here, like, how do you guys break the ice when talking to a stranger?
It's really easy.
I mean, it very much depends on context.
Yeah,
give me a
exactly.
situation and I'll tell you what I do. But
Oh.
I can't just tell you this is what I do without
Okay.
knowing the situation and why. I
Like,
know
let's
them.
say you guys are.
I literally just say, "How's your day going?" And then it just
It's
escalates.
more-
you're the worst kind of person. I'm serious.
You're the worst kind of.
Well, I mean, just like it's very generic. Like if I just
Fair,
went
yeah.
with someone, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How's your day?" Or "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" And then usually people.
man,
Here's the thing: people just like to talk.
I wasn't prepared to give scenarios today because Gavin wasn't here, so I wasn't prepared for
For
that.
example, like you're at
Like,
a store, a shop, a restaurant.
well, I'll tell you what I mean. Like, because
You guys are both waiting for something.
Paul and I, we worked at Spencer's, so the way you'd break the ice there is a lot different than where you
yeah.
break the ice somewhere
Oh,
else.
yeah.
So I have a great example. I have a great example of how I broke the ice once.
Oh God, was I working with you?
This was a thing that I just experienced on my own. But
disrespect.
I was at Spencer's once. I was rearranging or like putting the dildos back on the wall. Right? Naturally, right?
Yeah.
And
They're always
there was a girl like she was maybe I don't know
Always
19, 20, a few feet away from me. I'm on a ladder like 3 feet
Yeah.
off the ground, like reaching up. So I'm 6'3", so it's like 9 feet in the air at this point.
Brag much?
I just wanted to do a little flex on this podcast. No. But so I'm like
We're all
9.
under
I'm like
6.
doing stuff like 9 feet in the air, right? And she's looking at the dildos like intently, like picking one up, reading the price tag. She puts it back, and she gets a call, and like her phone's ringing, and then she declines it. She puts the phone back. She gets a call again. She declines it. She gets a call again, answers it. She's like, "What, mom?" And she's like, I can't hear the mom's side, but I hear like, and she's like, "I told you I'm at the mall. I'm buying a dress for church." And then she's like, "Yeah, I'll call you later." And she hangs up. And then like she knows I'm within I'm 2 feet away from her, and she looks up at me, and I look down at her. I'm like, "Moms, am I right?" So that's how I break the ice there.
Oh
Moms,
man,
am I right? I like at work, if it's just an awkward customer interaction, I guess, where I'm just doing my job instead of applying any personal touch to it, I guess.
Going
I
through the
usually
motions.
like make an observation. Like if they're wearing a hat, I'll comment on that. Like if it's a Steelers hat or something, I was like,
see
I'll
your-
charge you extra.
I see you're wearing a hat.
Like sometimes that happens.
I
Like
see you have a hat on. Are you balding?
I too wear clothing on my head.
I had this recently happen too because like sometimes I have to like set up coolers for people. So normally like I try to just like drop and run. I don't get paid. I'm an hourly. And so like I've been nice. So what I do actually is like I look at the phone and see the name, and I'm like, all right, I'll knock on this one. So I knocked on it, and it was like a
So it's like Margot Robbie's. I'll knock.
I guess I'll give this one a shot. Kate Beckinsale, I guess. It's like Ray Liotta, maybe not. Brett,
Ana de Armas.
I want to see this video. Oof.
that's his. So basically, I've been like going into people's houses, and then it's awkward because I'm setting it up, which takes about like 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
But they'll just stare at you the whole time. which is like fine, but it's weird because like the way the jugs are set up, you actually have one, so like you know how like you have to like
I do have a jug.
you have to pop the hole in it.
Yeah.
So if you're if you're kind of dirty about it, you can like grab like you grab the hose. Well, no, you
say it like that
because if you're dirty,
dirty.
well, I mean like hygiene purposes.
Okay,
right?
I know how to pop it real dirty.
So like I have to be extra careful when they're watching me because I don't want them to see me like I'm not gonna grab someone's hose. Gosh, this is not coming out right.
Respectful guy, I like it.
But it's just awkward because like they stare at you as like you're trying to be like hygienic, and I'm like, dude, I don't have AC. Like I'm out here all day. Like
I'm not hourly.
My hands are black. Like I'm a blue collar guy, so like it's awkward. They're just watching me. So I try to like make conversation, and sometimes I really suck, and then I'll notice that, and then the next couple setups I have, I'm like really good. So
okay.
I've been doing that recently.
It's funny you say this because my friend Barsh, who's my roommate, I always think about this situation because he's a FedEx driver. So
Oh, nice.
sure
No
you
AC either.
Yeah, I'm sure you can
never
relate.
do.
There was one time because he's a very like outgoing guy, and he was making conversation with people once, and
As one does.
He was bringing like a very very heavy.
Now, I feel like he's not making conversation with people then the way you tell that story.
So he's bringing a very heavy package, like up to a third floor or whatever. It was.
Oh.
And this guy was
know
like
about
opening the
third
door,
floors.
and he's like, "Hey, like, oh, that big?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's heavier than a son of a." And then he like his internal monologue is like, "Don't say bitch. Don't say bitch to a customer. Don't say bitch to a customer." He's like, "Yeah, it's heavier than the son of a motherfucker."
The next
He's like,
best.
yeah, he's like, "I don't know why." I said that."
How did the guy take it? Did he?
He laughed. Yeah.
Okay. Is that a son of a motherfucker? Oh god.
That's gold.
I can actually relate to that quite a bit. I'll be holding fucking 50-pound things, and they're talking to me like, "Let me set this down now." I have no AC. I'm pissed.
I'm not hourly.
You're gonna be giving someone water there. They're like, "This is heavier than a son of a motherfucker."
You're a son of.
Don't say bitch. Don't say bitch.
Don't say bitch, son of a motherfucker. That is the coolest thing ever. When I'm in Laughlin and I win big, I say son of a motherfucker.
You betting on red or black?
I don't know.
Results haven't come back yet.
I haven't come back yet. We got 24
Well,
hours.
it's pending.
We got 24 hours.
So yeah, just do any of that, and you're good. You can talk to anything.
Wait, do you have a hard time? I feel like here's the thing.
I thought I have a heart. I
feel like all of us are really like pretty good at it because
I'm
we're
good
all
at it.
working.
I'm
because
good at
we're
it when
servers,
I'm
basically.
not with Jacob because Jacob pokes fun at anything I do or say.
I can see that. Yeah, he makes you nervous.
And yeah, it makes me nervous too. Like,
I don't know why. I don't.
Vertigo type
Make
stuff,
me
you know.
nervous.
I'm saying.
Oh, guys, I have vertigo, by the way.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, Jacob makes me nervous. When
Oh,
when
I get
work.
it. I get it because you two decided to give every single person their album, whether or not they wanted it. So you have Vertigo. Oh wait, that's not the right album they gave.
I'm so confused.
Do you remember when the band U2 decided that everybody in the world
On
should
Apple
have their
Music?
music?
On
So
Apple
they
Music?
decided to just give everybody. Yeah,
Wait,
And
why do I have
you couldn't
this
delete
song?
it. You
the
couldn't delete
balls
it.
on them.
Damn, that's crazy.
I hate when I would like press play on my music, like trying to get to Spotify that was just playing like 2 minutes ago, and then it goes automatically
straight to-
defaults to Apple
I
Music,
hate
and then
that
YouTube
too.
comes on. I'm like, what is this?
Well, the issue I have with that is like I have
U2 has some good songs, though, guys.
like on Apple Music is like it's like a screamo band, like the #1 song. So I'll be like chilling and I'll plug in my phone, and then all of a sudden it just starts screaming at me. I'm like, it's like the most like nerving thing.
Did you hear about the guy? I can't remember his name or what the song's called, but apparently whenever you start Apple Music, it starts with the alphabetical. So it
Uh-huh.
starts with whatever song is first in your alphabetical.
That's the issue I have.
So he made a song called like A, so whatever. So it automatically will play first, and it's like 30 seconds of dead air just to save everybody. And he's like, it's like the #1 most profitable song on
That
Apple.
is so
It
smart.
was, at least for a while. I don't know if it still is.
That's actually that would help me out a lot.
yeah.
That's just bad,
Design.
construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It just defaults to it, whatever it is. For you, it'd probably be Encanto.
Maybe. Do they have any songs that start with A? I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
I don't
the
know.
movie.
I don't know.
Well, everybody should get Spotify then,
Spotify-
including your
Spotify
Uber
is
driver
great.
from
Yeah.
the airport.
No more. Was it Pandora?
Yeah, right.
Wow, I haven't had Pandora since like 2010.
That sounds like that's high school days, man. I remember that was the coolest
long
thing
time
ever.
ago.
I didn't even know what Spotify was.
If I don't have the capability to like listen to a song or like
When you want.
I don't mind like putting on a playlist and be like, all right, just play whatever. But do you guys ever like will listen to a song like this song reminds you of another one, so you want to play that one next?
Yeah, you get a vibe.
and
kinda.
you can't do that on Pandora. I that would drive me insane.
That was
weird.
Yeah, sometimes I like go through my Spotify playlist and I want to listen to this first, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one.
You start
And
queuing them up.
Me and Jacob are completely opposites, though. He'll skip through when he's done with the song. He's like, "Oh, I'm done with this one. Skip."
You've heard the part you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
I
got
man.
you.
I was like, oh, I
45
can't-
seconds in, skip.
I can't wait till I listen to the fifth song. I'm only on the second one right now. I can't wait till I get to the fifth one.
Well,
that's how I am.
That makes sense for Jacob because he just listens to fucking movie.
Yeah, I
like,
listen to soundtracks.
soundtracks. Yeah,
and-
it's
Does
like
it with regular songs too.
it's like
Paul.
Anakin's
sometimes.
betrayal, and he's like, okay, cool, I heard this part.
He's like, I just want to hear that little crescendo in the
Yeah.
Cantina Band song.
Wanna hear some
jizz.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dylan.
Shout out, Jizz.
Shout out, Jizz.
Hey, what up, Dill?
Hey, Bob.
Jeez. I basically speedrun my playlist, so.
Yeah, I can't. I have to listen to the song. I committed. Can't skip
I
it.
committed. I'm kind of with that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it through. I mean, I won't listen to the outro part, but I'm all right. You've had your run.
You've had your run.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
I mean, sometimes when I listen to new music, I'll just go to a playlist, and then whenever a band comes on that I've never heard before, I'll go to their page and then add 2 more songs to the queue, and then so that way I hear 3 songs of every new band, so I can decide right then and there if I like them and want to keep listening to them. Cool.
Hey, that's a smart man right there.
One summer, I just listened to Hall & Oates on shuffle until I found a song that I liked.
I feel like that was last summer.
Yeah,
It was 2019.
it's also this summer.
So
Every summer.
every summer, every day I wake up. But yeah, Rich Girl, best song ever. There we go. By Hall & Oates, not by Gwen Stefani. If I hear another person say, "Oh, by Gwen Stefani," when I ask them if they've heard Rich Girl, I will lose it.
How many people do you ask if they've heard Rich
A
Girl?
lot of people.
okay.
Hey, you ever heard of a Rich Girl?
By Gwen
Well,
Stefani?
I kind of stopped asking. I just say, "Hey, have you ever heard of Hall & Oates?" It's more.
There you go.
It's better than Rich Girl. Hate it. Just makes me want to fight someone. Speaking of fights, Paul, you had a nice outing this past weekend.
I did.
Would you like to share with the class?
Of course. So I went to the boxing match, right? That was here last weekend. The way that I got signed up for this, this is like normal for me. I kind of get signed up for random things and I just go along with it, right? So
When you say signed up, like,
signed up as in like someone just calls me up and then like I just become part of their plans.
okay, so that's what I thought you meant. But when you said there's a boxing match and I got signed up, I'm like, did you like?
It was a kangaroo, right? So
Yeah.
no, so yeah, I didn't actually fight. That was close. So a coworker, right, hits me up one day and I miss his call. So I call him back 5 minutes later and he's like, "Hey, I got us tickets for this boxing match. You didn't answer, so I already bought yours." And the thing is, it wasn't just like me and him. It was for another coworker's like birthday. So there was like 8 of us going. So I was like, okay, I guess I signed up for this boxing match, which I don't follow, which I'm cool with boxing, but I don't really know much about it. So anyways, this boxing match comes up and it's for one of my coworkers' birthdays. So they're all pre-gaming right before it, you know. I meet them there and they're already a couple drinks in. And so we immediately go into the line and we go get some tall cans. We sit down, we find our seats. Since there's 8 of us, we pretty much take up a whole row. And so the first fight goes, we're good, you know, we're drinking, you know, going to the bathroom, getting some more drinks.
Now, these boxers, are they like locals or are they big names?
Well,
or?
this one was a local big name.
Okay.
So he's like supposed to be like the next big thing coming out, and
Gotcha.
he's from here. So the first 2 fights obviously were a little bit like the come up ones. So anyways, we're hanging out, we're all talking, whatever. And then so it's the second fight now. And it's probably like 3rd round in. This guy comes up, and you could tell he's buzzed, right? He's a younger dude. He's got like a ponytail with like a fro ponytail, if that makes sense.
Like Patrick?
Kind of, but like just
Yeah.
imagine like big, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so he comes up and he's probably like a $140, like scrawny dude, and he's got these 2 White Claws in his hand. He's like, "Hey man," and by the way, I'm sitting on the edge, next to my other coworker who bought me the tickets. And so he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Can I get in so I can get to my seat?" And so my coworker's like, "Are I don't think you got the right section. Like, we bought all these seats, bro. I was like, nah, man, can I just get into my seat? It's like, nah, dude, like, I'm telling you right now, like, you got the wrong row. Like, these are all ours, man. Like, we bought them. And then so it's kind of like going back and forth, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is going to, you know what I mean? Everyone's got a couple beers in them, boxing.
How tall?
He's probably like 5'6", 5'7". Let's go. So I can take him. So I'm just letting him do his thing, right? And then so basically it gets to the point where he's like, no, I'm going to go, I'll just, he starts walking in between me and my coworker. He's like, no, I'll just go talk to the guy in my seat. And so he's like, all right, man, have fun, pick one. And so the funny thing is, right, so out of that group, there's 8 of us, right? Everybody has that one guy that you just don't mess with, right? The one guy that you look at and he wants to fight you automatically. He picks that guy of the group. He goes up to him and he's like, hey, man, you're in my seat. Completely uncalled for, by the way. And so, like, immediately, what's funny about the guy he picked is it's my coworker's brother, and there's 3 of the brothers. So he picked the worst, like, the absolute worst guy. So he's like, yeah, you're in my seat. He's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, you're in my seat. Like, get out. And then so immediately the older brother stands up, boom. And then the brother-in-law is holding back the older brother. And then the middle brother just got, like called out, stands up. He starts going. And then the big friend that we have on our side, who's like 6'4", stands up. And it's just this one dude, like, in between this whole row. And me and like, me and my coworker just, like, watching it. And we were cracking up because we're like, man, of all the people, he picked him. Like, we were just dying at the fact that he picked the worst one. So anyways, not the security guard, but the guy who helps you find your tickets, he was cool with us because he helped us find our row, so he knows where we're at. And so we're like, hey, bro, like, can you help us out real quick, man? We're like, he's in the wrong, you know, he's trying to start some stuff. And the best part is he's like, with his 2 White Claws, he's like, no, hold these to our group. Like, we're going to help him so we could fight our friend. And so the security guard's like, hey, get out of here, you know, come on. So now he's next to me, and he's, like, in the row, like, where the stairs are. And they're just barking. Like, our group is, like, those guys at the end are barking at him. He's barking back, and I'm just like, gosh dang it. Like, I'm just drinking my beers. And I was like, dude, you just got to get this guy out of here. And so he's like, well, that's what I'm trying to do, but you guys don't shut the fuck up. And so I got pissed because now he said you guys, so now I'm like, oh, you're talking to me. And as a respectful guy, I told him to suck my... No, I'm just kidding. No, I was like...
Did you just tell my brother?
No, so I was like, get this boy out of here, right? And he's like, hey, don't call me a boy. And I was like, well, I'm not going to call you a man. You got 2 White Claws in your hands, bro. And then, dude, everyone started laughing. And then he's like, no, don't call me a boy. And then I'm like 2 tall boys in. I just saw like 2 guys fight. So I start flexing on them. And I'm like, dude, how much you weigh? I was like, we could do a boxing match up here. And then the guy's like, all right, we got to go up. We got to go. And then finally, like 2 minutes later, he comes back down. And he's like, hey, he just wanted to apologize. And he just said he was sorry twice. And then I was like, oh, you're cool, bro. Like, sorry for, like, acting out. It's just he called it, you know, he called us all out. And then he's like, no, you're good. So I shook the security guard's hand. And the best part is he was just one section over. So, like, he sits down with his little White Claws, right? And nothing against White Claws, as I'm drinking a Truly. But the fact that, like, you're going to go and spend $13 on a tall boy White Claw and then try to call out 8 dudes all in the same, like, row. And then so basically, like, he's sitting over there in the middle, and our guys, you know, the original guys he called out, were just staring at him and just doing the thing. And then all the guys below us, like in the rows, they stood up and they were like shaking all our hands, like, yeah, get that fucker out of here. And then out of nowhere, he just took off. And then we found out that he had like 2 chicks with him and another big guy. But that was pretty much it. We almost got into a fight at a boxing match.
It would have been very quick, it seems.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it was like, you just picked... And then, like I said, he picked the one dude who, if you just stare at him the wrong way, he wants to fight you already. And he has 2 other brothers there.
5'6" short king trying to start some shit with 8 people. That would not have ended well.
Oh. It's freaking...
Nothing against short kings. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You got to be aware, though, who you're picking a fight with.
Nothing against short kings, guys.
I'm an average king.
Yeah.
5'8.5". But if you round it, 5'9".
Some of my best friends are short kings. What's up, Ethan?
Yep, I got nothing to respond with.
Yeah, get some White Claws, bro. But that also pissed me off, too, because I'm like, man, you got 2 chicks with you. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't be trying to pick fights.
Yeah.
you know,
Makes sense.
Reminds me of that time that Mendu and Fizz went to the arena in our D&D campaign, and we kicked some ass
And
together.
now we're going to
in
go
the
to
ring.
the D&D section of the podcast. Everyone roll initiative.
hit it, Jacob.
Yeah, I've never been in a public altercation like that. So
Have you guys had any bad like experiences like at like a football game, baseball game, anything like that?
I already told the one where I saw a guy push a woman to the ground.
You did?
But
Jesus.
that was more out of drunken excitement than like malicious intent.
You know what's funny about that is I went to a preseason game last year with one of my managers, and it was me and Patrick, and it was the Cowboys and the Cardinals. It's already a good mix. You know, football too. You know, it's a bunch of drunk guys, and so obviously I show up in my Giants gear because why wouldn't I? And then Patrick shows up in his Broncos gear because why wouldn't he?
These guys are the worst.
Yep.
Fucking people who go
It's
to
a
sporting events.
preseason game. It doesn't matter.
My God.
And if anything,
I'll
the,
make-
Where were the Broncos and the Giants?
the Giants
Nowhere near that stadium.
The Giants won the first Super Bowl in that stadium, so it's theirs. Anyways, there's a Cowboys fan right in line, and of course he sees me, and he's like, "Giants, get the fuck out of here!" And I was like,
the same division, right?
I was like, "Man, suck my dick." I actually told him, and then I realized, like, dang, I just like default to that every single time. And then so Patrick's like,
He really peed me off, so I told him to suck my dick.
and so Patrick, being the short king, he is exactly Jacob, exactly. He goes up to him, he's like, hey, what about me? What about me? Because he's got his Broncos shirt. He's like, man, you get the fuck out. He's like, hey. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here?
Instigating. I've never been in anything like that.
I just have a knack to draw people. It happened in Vegas too. Some guy overheard us talking about the Broncos and Giants like in the bathroom, and then he's like, "Hey, you guys should know where you're at. You're the Raiders." I was like, bro, you bought your team 3 years ago. I don't want to hear it. And then we got into a little thing going, and
Imagine trying to start a fight about what team that you like that throws a ball around.
dude, and we're in the bathroom just talking about like a random like, oh yeah, it's a good season, blah blah blah. And he's just like, hey, don't forget where you're at.
What is this? The movie The Warriors? Like everyone has their own like
Turf war.
gang that they're affiliated with.
Pretty good movie.
That's a great movie. You guys should do that one. Sometime.
Warriors?
Have you ever
You
seen?
never seen the one?
No, I've never seen
That's an old ass movie, but
That's-
it's like 80s gang. Is he 80s or 70s?
It's like 80s or 70s. Yeah, one
Yeah.
or two. It's like that's when the cops
you
had
may have
revolvers.
you may have even heard like there's a very iconic scene. The guy's got like beer bottles on his hands, and
1979.
he's like clanking them together. He's like, "Warriors, come out and play."
Or you could hear the guy
before,
saying,
yeah.
"Can you dig it?"
Sucker.
That was a big one.
That's actually where Booker T's saying came from. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Sucker?
Oh, I've definitely seen
That was a classic.
clips and stuff.
Classic
like that.
James Raymar for sure.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's a good movie. I had a video game too on Xbox. Did you play it?
Wasn't very good.
Okay, I thought it was cool.
I liked Tony Hawk's Underground 2, which referenced that movie quite a bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
I have to go back and play. Is it
I like the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles.
I like the Hand Clan
Same
from
thing.
Daredevil.
Look at that.
I don't like what we're talking about.
I have seen the 2017 Power Rangers trailer more than any trailer I've ever seen in my life.
Why?
How do you feel
That
about
is a
that?
weird fact.
It is a weird fact.
How do you feel about that?
I really liked that trailer, so I stand by it.
There was a movie you guys were talking about.
I liked the movie too, but it got
It was okay.
so I liked it a lot.
So last episode, you guys were talking about 50 Shades of Grey, right? And then you asked.
I think we mentioned it.
You
I
mentioned
don't think
it.
we were talking
yeah, okay,
about
shut
it.
up. Shut your mouth. So you guys mentioned, hey, Jacob, did you work there? I worked there at that time. And I remember
Oh,
I remember.
Harkins.
I
I've seen the
remember-
memes.
I remember
At the
doing
movie
that.
theater. Okay.
Okay.
I
I don't think I did.
No, you didn't.
Worked
No.
where?
Because we were way far separate.
After.
Yeah. I just remember, like, I was doing door that day, and this guy comes in. He's like, oh, are you guys handing out raincoats with that? And I was like, no, your movie's it's to the left. Like, I had to tell him. And then he's like, I didn't know you guys were showing porn here. And I was like, I'm not showing anything, bro. I'm just kind of
I just work here.
I just work here.
Yeah, dude.
It's only my third day out here.
I was like 19 at the time. I was like, what are you doing? It's 50 Shades. Like, take it to the
Teenage
manager.
kid.
To the guy at the door, bro.
That's what I don't understand is when people get upset at customer service and it's like a 17-year-old kid that's working that's just
has
there.
no say
Yeah, exactly.
in anything.
Even if it's just like me at work, like now, like, oh, do you guys have like this kind of style suit, tuxedo, whatever? I'm like, oh no, we don't carry that like to rent. because a lot of people want to rent certain things or whatever.
But they're too specific.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
Why am I gonna have a rental of like a pink jacket
Not a-
with the
there's
red
not the
design?
demand for
So I put that in inventory and just
Nobody
waste your
has
money.
that, exactly.
Do you guys do more
So they're
rentals
just like,
or
oh,
buying?
why? Like, why not? I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do you mean, why not? Nobody wants that.
What do you mean, why not?
Probably more rentals.
More rentals?
Yeah.
The purchases have been
We've been doing a lot
steadily
more.
increasing.
It's been
Yeah.
Paul buying them all.
Yeah.
I'd say like 70-30,
Oh.
probably.
70-30 rental to buying?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Man, that's
More
pretty
rental,
good.
but quite a bit.
I like that. Okay.
Anyway, like I don't control like what you want and not being in demand. Like,
Yeah, Lambert does. What the hell?
not even
I know. I was kidding.
get mad at like the waitress for your food or something.
Oh,
it's kind
yeah.
of the same thing.
The old people absolutely berating the 16-year-old worker at the desk at the Old Country Buffet.
Old Country Buffet. Now that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Speaking of Kenobi,
Long time. I like buffets. Haven't been to one in ages.
We try to go to one. My mom. So I took my mom to Vegas, right, for her birthday.
Vegas
I feel like everything always connects to Vegas for some reason.
you
But
live there.
I'm going back, guys, in like 3 weeks.
Vegas is Paul's personality type.
Stop.
How many times have you been to Vegas in the past calendar year?
Get a summer. home in
Honestly,
Vegas.
I think it was like 5 times, maybe 6. I know. I thought about it too. I was like, dude, this is the first time. So the first time I ever went was in like
Put a down payment on a house.
I know. The first time I ever went was like probably let's say April, right? And then I just kept going and going, and then I was like, dang. I saw my Snapchat memories, like, damn, I've been here like 5 times, and this is my first memory there. What the hell? So anyways, yeah, back to, I took my mom to Vegas, right? And her biggest thing was like she wanted to go to like a buffet. Like that's, I guess, the thing back in the day for Vegas. But post-COVID and all that,
I saw that on
they're all
Friends,
gone.
yeah.
They're all gone now, so
Damn.
couldn't give her a birthday
If you don't think
wish.
about how dirty it is, buffets are cool.
100%. Want to know something funny about Vegas and my mom's birthday?
You didn't spend it with your mom at all?
No, I did.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so my parents have been together, right, for like ages, probably like 30 years. They're not married. So we take her to this like nice dinner. Like it's Giada's, is that her name? She has like a TV show.
Giada De Laurentiis?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like Italian.
Yep.
Yeah. So we went to a restaurant, right? My mom's like, oh, let's go here. So we make a reservation. Boom. It's perfect. Scenery's nice. It's like an expensive high end,
Yeah.
like where our view's at is perfect. You see like the Balenciaga, like all like it's just perfect. And it's funny because what's your cousin calling me? So there's a couple in front of us, right? They're just by themselves, and then all of a sudden, this dude just like gets down on one knee and proposes, and the whole time we're just there like eating. And I just thought it was the funniest thing because I'm like, damn, Dad, get fucked, bro, because like you haven't proposed to Mom in over 40 years, and.
Can I also just say, imagine proposing at a buffet?
Oh, it wasn't a buffet. It was an actual restaurant.
Okay.
No, can you imagine Giada having a fucking
Yeah.
buffet?
Oh no, I'm on the last topic.
No,
still.
you're good. You're good. That would be funny though. But yeah, so I was like,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna propose at a buffet.
At a buffet?
that's classy.
I'm gonna get it like crab legs, but put the ring on the crab leg.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What's up? What's up, Golden Corral? Where you at?
Golden Corral.
Gold.
Yeah,
in the
that is a
chocolate
name
fountain.
I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I like buffets. That's the moral of the story.
Buffets are cool.
That's what I've learned. Yep.
I haven't had
We,
a buffet in a long time.
Yes.
We what?
It's true.
We yes.
Yes. Well, when I was living on campus, our what's the word? Man, it's been a long time.
Cafeteria.
That's not the word, but yes,
RN?
let's go with that. Our cafeteria,
Dining hall.
dining hall. There we go.
That man's been a
Look at
college.
Jacob. Jacob's hip with it.
Oh my god.
I regret
Physically.
it. I regretted it as soon as I said it. Anyways,
I can tell 'cause
dining
you're so
hall.
red.
Our dining hall used to be, or was like buffet style, and then when COVID and everything happened, then it was you're able to go in, select the food in, like take out containers, and then take it with you.
Did you just pay like a flat rate and you get whatever
It was
you
a
want?
meal. It was like a meal plan, so it was already paid for, or you're paying for it, I guess. What was that?
So like, how many times a day? 3?
Well, it just depends on your meal plan. It was more, I think, how many times
You're there.
a week, and then it resets, or
So you can like pig out and go all out on the first 2 days.
Like some people have like a 5-meal limit on their meal plan.
That's like
for
one
a
a
week.
day kind of, yeah.
So it's like 1 a day or something. Some people have like 18, so they can go for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner or something.
Jeez.
That's a football player.
Or a me.
Or me.
I don't even remember what I had. It was so long ago. Now that is a name I have not heard in a long time. But yeah, that's where I'm at with me.
Pleasure, bro.
I can see why you get nervous when I'm here now.
Yeah, I said you're hip with it.
God.
I wish you
We're gonna circle back to this real quick. Like I said earlier, Willem Dafoe stayed on the motel premise for like a week to get into character and really
good for him. That's awesome.
feel the environment and everything. And to an extent, that is method acting. What is method acting? Too much. I want to get your guys' opinion because
Jared Leto.
There we go. That's what I have on here. I have Jared Leto. I think I have Jared Leto versus Christian Bale. Like the different
versus Heath Ledger would have been a good one.
Christian Bale, I know, is definitely a method actor, but like when you think of method acting to an extreme, you know, it's absolutely Jared Leto. I know, like Kate Blanchett method acts a little bit too. I guess like don't be an asshole. You know, you don't have to send your friend's feces in the mail to get a point across.
See, my thing is with Jared Leto is like I mentioned this to you, Ethan. He's like Johnny Depp's hated little brother. Like he plays all these weird roles like Johnny Depp does. Everyone loves Johnny Depp for it. You know what I mean? He's like known for the weird stuff. And then Jared Leto plays it and everyone hates it. But the thing is like Jared Leto is very like he just overdoes it. It's one of those like if you could just take a step back, like you're doing a decent job at being method actor, but it's like overdoing it. Like for example, the whole Joker thing, like you just said, it's like he sent like a dead rat, I believe, and it was like a used condom. And it's like in the comics I've read and like all the things I know about the Joker, he's never done that. He's never used a condom and sent it to somebody. Like it doesn't make sense.
But also I understand the appeal to method acting, right?
100%.
Like
Heath Ledger was great at it.
If you have to go home or like go somewhere else and then you're back to yourself and then you have to come back and resummon whatever energy you had to give your performance of a lifetime, that could be a little daunting, I'm sure. I mean, obviously I'm not an actor, but like I think that it's a different line though, because you have to like put something in a box, seal it up, write someone's address on it, go to a place to send it, and then follow through doing that. How much of that is acting?
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like
I think it was just for like a publicity stunt almost.
Probably.
And here's the thing about Jared Leto is like he came after Heath Ledger, right? And everyone knows about the whole like the apartment that Heath Ledger stayed in, where he wrote his diary, and he really got into the Joker, which probably killed him. So I think he was like trying to channel that same thing, but he just did it in a very, like I said, awkward, weird, overdoing it kind of a way. And I think the way Heath Ledger did it, and I think the way Christian Bale does it, is like normal. Not normal, but like it's more controlled. It's more of like I'm going to act this way, like I'm going to stay in character this entire time.
Fair. But I mean, it's also a difference because like when you think of method acting, like Jared Leto's just like an asshole about it. But then Christian Bale, and I'm not like, you know, beating Christian Bale off here, but he look at the Machinist, like how much weight he was willing to lose for that role.
I think that's like
Jared Leto's on the same
method acting is just getting his body
right
in the right
but
role.
But then also like then he went from that to Batman Begins, where he had
a beefy boy.
Exactly. So it goes beyond like it goes beyond just doing something because you're staying in character. Like there's a lot more to think about when it comes to roles.
The thing is too is Leto's done the same. He's gained weight and he's lost it, and he's got that medium too. It was Dallas Buyers Club or whatever, where he like had to lose.
I think it just comes down to, do you let your work or your way of doing it affect other people?
Right.
And I think that's where Jared Leto kind of crosses the line, and like Christian Bale keeps to himself in a sense, or Joaquin Phoenix kind of keeps to himself.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've seen the photos of Christian Bale as the villain for the new Thor movie. I'm sold.
dope.
I'm in.
It looks so cool.
He's a terrific actor.
Right.
I've loved everything I've seen him in.
You guys did Spirited Away. Your next Ghibli movie you should do is Howl's Moving Castle, because he plays like the main character in that, like voice acting, of course, but very, very good Studio Ghibli.
Have you seen him in The Newsies?
Not.
I think I mentioned that last week.
You did mention that. I have no idea what it is.
That's a good one too. It's like something you'd watch in school, which I did watch in school. But yeah, it's a musical as well. like last week.
Just like last week.
You hate musicals.
I do hate musicals.
I hate musicals too.
Me
But
too.
I mean,
to an extent. Like I love The Greatest
I
Showman.
like Grease.
my one movie is La La Land.
Never seen it.
It's like your favorite movie.
all
It
quiet
is.
about
It really is. I hate musicals, but that is my favorite movie.
I hate musicals, but I'll tolerate them. The reason why I hate musicals is because your cousin will play them nonstop in the car.
Doesn't he
That's
like
true.
Hamilton?
Dude, thank you. Gosh dang it, dude. We'll be playing PlayStation back in the day, and he's just singing Hamilton on your side. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's a good song, bro. You should watch the movie. I'm not going to watch the movie for one song. I hate Patrick. I'm actually going to take him to school tomorrow.
I hope he listens. I hope he listens to this.
I'm going to make you listen to it on our way to Laughlin.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
And then to Vegas
You're
3
taking
weeks.
him to school because you're driving together.
Yeah, so I told him I was like, I'm going to take you to school because he's a half day.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to pick him up so we just shoot straight over. I ain't waiting for his ass.
I ain't waiting for this motherfucker.
I was like, don't say motherfucker.
Don't say bitch.
Ass. Don't say bitch. Don't say bitch. My new saying.
Update: D-backs are down 12-1.
I know, I seen that. I was going to bet on the Dodgers,
12-1.
Yeah,
Cool thing about baseball, it's not over till it's over.
exactly.
Cool thing
Babe
about
Ruth.
baseball, lots of people, lots of friends on that team.
That's true.
I hate him.
Lots of balls and bats.
Quite a bit, at least.
Did you see? Did you guys see? What's his name? The cheetah. His interview with about Tua
I didn't see his interview. I think I saw.
about the balls.
Are you referring to Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I didn't know what else to
Cheetah
say. I was
calls
going
him
to call
the
him
cheetah?
cheetah. I almost called him Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
Who's that?
Taysom Hill. Is
It's
that
just
a
the guy on the Saints, the
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking about
second
that.
string quarterback who does like
That's who it is.
receiver or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking about Tyreek Hill. Anyways, he was like talking about how comfortable his balls are to catch.
Whoa.
And he's like, I'm gonna stop talking because it's just coming out wrong. And he straight up like said something. Don't quote me on that, but it was something similar. Yeah, the balls just come out. His balls are very comfortable or something. I was like, dude, you fucked up, bro.
I just really like the way his balls feel.
He's like, I thought they were gonna come out differently because he's left-handed, right? And he's like, I'm just gonna stop talking.
That's like the.
He's just a good quarterback. I'm just saying that.
It's like the Charles Barkley thing.
Oh.
He's like when you have a guy who's banging you and he's just banging and banging, like talking about defense.
Defense,
or something.
yeah, he's just banging
you feel
you.
like a big guy.
You
and
feel
he's
his
just
body
banging
on
you. When you got a guy that's banging you,
And Shaq just
feel
can't
his
hold
body.
it in, dude. Just-
Yeah, they're all laughing, and he was like, "What?"
He's just normal, just being Charles. I love it.
That's
Sports
quality
balls,
sports right there.
Brett's a huge sports fan. If you guys
Love it,
haven't
man.
noticed,
I've seen Space Jam. I get it.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you've seen sports, yeah.
well, you've seen sports
You've
1 and
seen
2. I'm assuming.
No, not
What
not
are
saying.
some of the best sports movies?
All right,
Remember the Titans,
That's a
I
good
recently
one.
rewatched that one and I thoroughly enjoyed
which
it.
starts as a sports movie, but it ends as a heart movie.
Pool Hall Junkies.
Pool Hall Junkies.
Great movie.
I don't know, but I will say I pretty much hate every single baseball movie out there.
Field of Dreams. Sorry, Brett.
Like
Didn't
it's-
mean to bring it up for
I've
you.
seen Field of Dreams.
Oh, was it hard for you to
Benchwarmers?
watch?
No,
I like bench
sports.
sports. I like it, but like I don't like it
No,
for the
'cause Ray
sports
Liotta was
aspect
hard
of
for
it. They
you to
just
watch.
Oh, I mean, it was a while ago. I mean,
They
I
just
watch.
portray
I like
it
sports
really
movies
well.
more than sports. That's for sure.
that makes sense.
The best sports movies are where the sports is secondary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always like heartfelt movies.
Like, don't get me wrong.
emotional.
Letterkenny is one of my favorite shows ever. It's the
hockey.
show that's so much about hockey. I don't care about the hockey, but
But it's actually
make it
that's a
great.
great point, Brett. Yeah. See, because I hate when like it's a baseball scene. I'm like, oh, it just looks so fake, and I just hate it. Like it just bothers me. And then they make them so corny.
like Hardball. You ever seen Hardball? That's a good one. You want to cry?
I
You'll
think
cry.
when you make like sports moments really cinematic, it takes you out of like the sports part.
Exactly. Yeah. 'cause
Like,
it's
makes
not,
it more
it's not
movie.
natural.
Like,
Because when you're watching a game, you're like you're either at the game watching it or like on TV.
you can't just capture that.
experience.
You can't just make it.
Don't make it
It's
all
hard.
cinematic.
Like you guys talk about Rocky, but
Oh,
freaking
I like Rocky.
Creed.
Creed's
Creed was
good. Creed's
so
I need to
good.
watch that.
Like,
All of them.
don't get me wrong. I liked Rocky 4 is my favorite, but
Drago. Oh, I made my mom watch that all the time.
but
Great soundtrack too.
But
His
seriously
brother.
though, Creed and Creed 2 blew any Rocky movie out of the water, in my opinion. Yeah.
The issue, well, not the issue, but like the thing is too is like also the technology, how like the
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
depth.
Some
but no,
limitations.
I do agree. Like I just love Rocky though.
Yeah.
Rocky and Creed, that whole thing is
Yeah.
just great. But yeah, Drago, Rocky 4. Go ahead and watch that, Ethan.
I'll watch it.
Go ahead.
I'll watch it right now. Hold on. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
It's such a
And we're back. No.
And we're back.
Rudy,
So here's the.
Rudy's a
I
good
was
one.
just about to bring that up.
Samwise Gamgee.
I've seen it a couple of times when I was younger. I haven't seen it in a while, so I will not comment on my opinion.
What, on Rudy?
Yeah.
Well, best sports movie ever, Happy Gilmore.
Hands
Such
down.
a good movie. Hands.
Patrick said he'll come on when we talk about Happy Gilmore, so
I
I,
hate
guess he
Patrick.
missed his chance because we're talking about it right now.
He tried to call me. He was
He
telling me.
did try to call you.
He just knew it was going to come up.
Happy Gilmore, that's a good one. The Blind Side, what do you guys think of that one?
That's a good one, but it's not a football.
It's more of a meme at this point.
Meme?
Yeah, because like
It's about a football player.
it's like white savior lady like saving this like young black teen, and that's the meme that we see is like, oh, like any time you see like
It's like they're trying to push like a narrative.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
been
thing.
like Saturday Night Live several times where they're like, oh, I just want to be like Sandra Bullock in The Blind
Oh,
Side.
yeah, I
You know?
have seen that. Yeah.
it's something like Sandra.
Sandra Bullock playing a real character,
Right.
a real
Waterboy.
person.
Waterboy's good. So
Half of Adam Sandler's movies.
I guess he does a lot of sports movies.
Actually,
Grown Ups,
yeah.
The Longest Yard.
Longest
Longest
Yard.
Yard was good.
61's a
Sandlot.
really good movie. You guys have no idea what that is.
61.
Sandlot. Do you like
60
Sandlot? That's a baseball one.
I've
I like
seen
21.
42.
I like 21.
I actually hate 42, and the reason is, and I know they can't show it, but like I just feel like they watered down Jackie. Like he went through so much more, and I just because I read books on Jackie.
You wanted more.
I wanted more, and like
More of the grit.
they made Pee Wee Reese his best friend. Like they just made him like a pussy, and like he's supposed to be there like helping him. He's supposed to eat food with Jackie, and it was supposed to be like a nice like Pee Wee Reese really went out of his way to make him a part of the team, and they just kind of showed him like that one scene where it's like he's playing at his hometown. And he hugs Jackie, and he's like, you know, my family's here, and it's just him hugging Jackie like a statement. And then he makes a remark like, oh, maybe one day we'll all wear 42, so that way they can't tell us apart. Which that's the only good part that they did, but like in the books I've read, it's like he was always like getting his meal and leaving to the bus with Jackie to go eat. And I'm like, man, you guys just never captured
That part of it.
The lengths that he actually
and then I
went to.
also do get like you can't. I mean, it's kind of hard to show what he actually went through, but it's still like I just feel like they just watered it down. I'm like, I want people to know.
Speaking of hockey, Miracle. Like I don't care for hockey, but
Never seen Miracle.
never seen
I
Miracle.
haven't seen it in forever.
I think the only hockey movie I've ever seen was
Happy Gilmore?
Goon.
Oh.
You know what's a good one with Mark Wahlberg when he's a Philadelphia Eagle? What is that one?
Invincible?
Invincible?
Yeah.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
I hate that movie, and it's only because I worked at Best Buy at the time. And
Best Buy?
the way
Never
that we sold TVs was we showed a scene where Mark Wahlberg's running from Invincible on a 60 hertz TV versus a 120 hertz TV. So I've seen that one fucking scene 170 times a day.
Yeah.
Every movie that comes out in theaters when working at a movie
Oh
theater.
my god, the amount of times I've seen the movie
Oh.
Avatar while working at Best Buy. Ugh.
Which Avatar? The blue people?
Yeah, not the anime. Yeah.
That's the only movie. called
Okay, I
Avatar.
get it, but I still have to clarify, Jacob.
Okay.
You're coming out with Avatar 2, guys.
I know. I saw that recently.
We'll
What was I watching recently? Oh, is Moon Knight. Where he's like, oh, someone said Avatar. He's like, oh, like the blue people or the anime?
Yeah.
Oh, he said that in there?
Yeah,
That was
in the
first
show.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
It's kind
The
of
blue
funny.
people or
Yeah.
the anime?
Last
They understand the struggle.
Yeah.
James Cameron's Avatar or The Last Airbender. That's
Okay.
kind of how you have to
what we
distinguish
say.
the two. The show or the movie.
The Last Airbender.
There is no Last Airbender movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, I thought they were both by James Cameron, but it's by M. Night Shyamalan.
I could see how you get them mixed up.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, man.
I don't know
sports
what.
movies. Cringe.
Interesting. Cool. So really appreciate you guys joining us.
It's been great.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention.
I am here for it.
Uh,
Take as long as you want.
This was, I know, Paul,
I'm
you
off
were
tomorrow.
just on pretty recently.
I'm not
you know?
hourly.
You were just on pretty recently, Paul. And one thing I was like, oh, I need to save this for if I ever get invited back, because you talked about like a first date story.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's.
So I was like, oh, I got this. I got this going. So worst first date I've ever had, like experience.
They talk
ever.
about your brother being hot. Been there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I hate when that happens.
Didn't we mention you? Like you have a really good one when we were talking about
I
it?
don't think we did.
I don't think you did. No.
He does have a good one, though.
I know I've probably told you guys this before, but just I'll tell it
viewers
again
need
as
to
if
hear
you
this.
never heard it. But so this was, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, maybe.
He was a young lad.
I was a wee young lad, and I was on the apps as one does, right?
Naturally.
found this girl in there. She was pretty cute. Talked to her for a little bit. She just finished nursing school, right? So she's like
original.
She's. I don't know if she just finished or was finishing like in the next couple months or something. The point is, like, she's at the end of her nursing school like career, right?
Right.
So she's like either working in a hospital or about to find it. Don't remember. It doesn't matter.
It's like every 20-year-old that I
But I'm like, okay, nurse, like that's like a respectable like profession for sure. Like I'm into like she was very funny, which is very high on my list. Like you got to be funny, you got to have like a sense of humor because
that's why we have so much chemistry.
Yeah, I tend to make jokes about everything vulnerable in my life, right?
Yeah.
So met this girl. She was great. We talked for maybe a week or two before we decided to meet up, right? So we went to like dinner it was like a dinner and a movie type thing. We went to
Smart man.
Restaurant was in the same parking lot as the theater. So
Smart man.
I parked by the restaurant.
You went to Grimaldi's and Harkins, right?
No.
At Park West.
I parked
saw me there.
I parked by the
Tickets.
restaurant and she parked by the theater. So we go. I get there first because I'm very punctual. It's my username punctuality. What's up? Shout out me. What's up?
Shout out me. Shout out Brett.
So I get there like pretty early. I'm like excited, right? So I get a table and I like text her like, hey, I'm here. Blah, blah, blah. So what's important to know is like this is 1 week after my birthday, right? And so she shows up to the date. She brings me like a little like slice of cake. And she's like, "Oh, hey, like I knew it was your birthday last week." So I'm like, "Wow, like
That's pretty
let's
cool.
get married right now." So this is going.
Did you guys get married?
We did not, unfortunately, and you'll see why. So she like, "Wow, this is great. This is very thoughtful." So like, I actually like took the cake and just went and put it in my car. It wasn't too hot yet because my birthday's in April. It's April, so
The 14th.
it
A
could-
week after mine.
it could survive in the car. Is the point?
Right.
You got a birthday
So-
shadow. I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm listening.
Mine was the big 3-0. So yeah.
Shit.
But so basically, I went through this whole date. She made me laugh a few times. Like I'm like, this is good. Like we hung out. We had dinner. The movie was like so far into the future because we like pre-booked the movie and like gave dinner enough time, but we like maybe overbooked it, like overplanned it. So there's a lot of time in between, right? So we finish up dinner, like the check comes, I can tell they're like, all right, get out of here, guys. Like, like restaurant people were like, you like pay the check and then they stop coming around the table,
Right.
So I'm like, all right, what do you say? Like we move this to the theater or whatever. So we walk from the restaurant over to the theater. It's not too far, like when you're walking and conversing. So we get to the theater, and funny enough, the movie we were seeing was Free Fire.
Oh, God.
So this was 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was,
This is
so
2014.
so how many years ago was that? What, like 6,
Eight,
8 years? 8 years ago, right?
Paul messed me up.
We were seeing the movie Free
Sounds
Fire
right.
in the theaters, right? And so we get there, and it's like we got there, and the theater wasn't open yet. Like they hadn't cleaned. Like the other
right.
one was like still in right. So people come
Paul's in there
out.
sweeping still.
Yeah, exactly. People come out. We get concessions,
Truth.
whatever. We're like sitting outside talking, whatever. It's great. Movie comes out. They clean whatever. We get the clearance to go in. We go into the theater, and this is at Desert Ridge, and so like we're in the theater, and we're the only ones in there because obviously we're the first ones there, right? So we're like 35 minutes ahead.
This is before you could like book your seats.
way before, right?
This
So
is when you had to go in line, people.
So we get there, and this girl is
I
hilarious.
missed the line days, guys.
Yeah,
Me
Sorry.
too.
This girl's hilarious. She's made me laugh like several times on this date, and like we're vibing so far. This is great. She's cute. She's a nurse. Like I'm in. You know what I mean?
Funny nurse.
Yeah, right. So
care of you.
we're sitting there laughing, and when like I like showed a video of like I think like it was my friend's cat. I'm like, oh, you look at this video. I just looked at this cat. She's like, oh my god, that's so funny. Do you know what else is so funny?
I've heard this one before.
And I'm like,
Okay.
what? She's like, have you ever heard of one man, one jar? And I'm like, no, what's
I
that?
haven't heard this one before. Never mind.
No. She's like, oh my god. I'm like, no, what's that? She's like,
Wait, no, I have heard this one before.
she's like, dude, oh my god, this is the funniest.
Is it like two girls, one
Well,
cup?
I'll get into it.
Okay.
And she's like, one man,
God.
one jar. That was my first thought because
Yeah.
the only type of video I've heard with a name and a number in it is two girls, one cup.
I could just see Brett being so innocent, like, oh my gosh, what is that?
And
Like,
I
so
was.
happy.
I was so into this.
So
I was so
sad.
into this exchange. She's like, have you heard of one man, one jar? I'm like, no, what's that?
Oh,
And, like,
poor Brett. I
She's
wanna
like,
hug him.
oh my god, I have to show you this. This is so funny. So we're in
She's
the
a
we're in the
nurse.
theater
Fuck.
again. It's like 35 minutes before the movie. And she's like, "Oh, let me show you." And she like pulls out her phone. I expect her to go to like YouTube or something. No, she goes to like Live Leak or like one of those like weird like black market websites.
Yeah.
Red flag.
She types in like one man, one jar. And for those of you who have seen the video, you know what's happening. For those that have not, I apologize for what I'm about to say. But basically the movie is there's this guy, you never see his face, but you do see his feet and legs as he is squatting over a glass jar, proceeds to shove the jar into his asshole, and then it breaks, cutting the inside of his asshole, and blood just starts pouring out. And I am in fucking shock.
And she's laughing.
She is laughing hysterically, watching this guy bleed from his asshole. And I'm like, she's
my kind of crazy.
And I just like am stopped.
I can fix her.
I got wounded bird syndrome. I can get her, dude. Easy.
But like, I don't want to change her. I just want to like support her while she changes herself. But no, so I'm just like I am very uncomfortable.
Awkward laugh.
How does my cat video remind you of this?
Oh, this is the funniest thing
Yeah,
ever.
and I'm like thinking it's the same vibe, whatever. And she is like dying laughing at this point. I'm like, what? And I'm like trying to shake it off, like pretend this is funny, but I'm emotionally scarred at this point. Because not only had I not seen this, I hadn't heard of it. I wasn't expecting it, whatever. So she showed me the video. She laughed. I like in my head, I'm like, I need to write this off. Otherwise, this is not going to be a good rest of this date.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, all right, she's a nurse. Like she sees buttholes for a living. Like this is a nurse.
It's her humor.
Right. Whatever. So I like
buttholes.
I like
To think if you just moved the movie date a little bit earlier, you might have postponed that.
yeah, for sure. So I like turn I turn thoughts about that off, right? I was very uncomfortable, and then like the further we got from it, like it went back to her being funny, making jokes. I was like, okay, I'm like a little more comfortable. Like the movie starts, she like lifts up the armrest and is like cuddling me during the movie, and I'm like, okay,
That's the thing. Nice.
So like I've kind of started to forget about this. We watched the movie. I liked the movie, you know.
So you've said
in the time, yeah, I liked it. It was like again, I don't want you to think because I recommended that movie to you. When you hear mid '90s, you're like, maybe it's another one.
Well, it's Jonah Hill too, and it's not Jonah Hill. It's Jonah Hill, but it's not Jonah Hill.
her.
So I expect it.
For sure.
I think I've heard about it too.
Yeah.
So
Movie
I've recommended movies. What the
movie
fuck?
gets out. Movie gets
you
out.
recommended Wolf of Wall Street.
I said Terminal.
You've also said Tombstone.
Tombstone was a
Yeah,
good
you
one.
love Tombstone.
I love Tombstone. I almost wore the shirt today. Sorry.
Yeah. Movie gets out, and then like we're still like talking, chatting, whatever. So we're walking around Desert Ridge at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's like late at night. We're like the only ones there. I think like everywhere's closed at this point. And I'm like, all right, like whatever. Like that one hiccup. The rest of it was okay. I'd maybe go on a second date with this girl. So I parked by the restaurant. She parked by the theater. So we're walking around, and she like we get to her. I'm like being a gentleman. Walk to her car. Get to her car, and I'm like ready for the day to conclude at this point. I'm still kind of shaken up based on that. Like every time I think it's exited in my brain, I come back like, why would you think that that's okay to show on a first date?
Why would you say it's the funniest thing ever? That's
I just
the scary
can't.
part.
I can't forget about why she said that was the funniest thing ever.
She had a chemistry with you, and you just weren't matching
it blew it out of the water right when I saw.
She
so
thought.
I just kept trying to tell myself like, just enjoy the rest of it. Think about this later. So then I walk her to her car, and she's like, oh hey, like you parked over by the restaurant. Like, do you want to like I can just give you a ride? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that's good. So she like gets in, like we get in the car, and she's like, hey, like this date doesn't have to end. So at this point, she's driving me back to my car. I forgot about this part. She's driving me back to my car, and it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night at this point. And there's like a bunch of pigeons eating something in the parking lot somewhere.
Naturally.
And like, you know, they're all on the ground, maybe like 10, 15 pigeons. And they're, it's like, you know, like when you're driving in like a mall parking lot at late at night, there's no cars there. Like, just drive through the lines. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
So we're driving around, like the part where you're supposed to drive. She cuts into the lanes, sees the birds, speeds towards them with the intent of running them over.
Nice.
And she like gets really close to the birds. They fly away naturally, right? They have the gift of flight. Why wouldn't you? So they fly away and
Fight or flight. We talk about it all the time.
And she laughs as they fly away. She's like, bastards got away from me. She said that out loud. Bastards got away from me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Woman's sadistic.
I'm like, all right. This is two things.
Is it weird I'm turned on right now?
She's pre-serial killer.
This is two
Yeah,
separate.
that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm like, this is two separate events for right now.
This person's a nurse.
At this point, I have already decided I am done. Like this, she's not for me. It was the birds for me. I'm like this.
It was the birds.
Yeah, this is. I'm good.
Write that down, Jacob. We're putting it on a shirt.
It was the birds.
So we're driving. She gets close to my car, and she's like, this date doesn't have to end. And I'm like, yeah, I work tomorrow. And she's like, yeah, you can like come back to my place if you want. I'm like, yeah, no, I like to work at 6 a.m. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Like, and then I shit you not, this is what she says next, like 100% truth. She says, I saw some dumpsters back there if you wanted to like put it between my thighs for a little bit. And I'm like, my God.
Do you still have her number?
Literally the sound I made was, I'm like, no, that's good. I appreciate it. I'm just.
Still have her number.
Does she like to gamble? We're going to Laughlin tomorrow.
And so I'm to my car, and I'm like, all right, it was good seeing you, whatever. I get in my car, I close the door, and out loud I go, what the fuck? To myself.
There's a couple dumpsters over there if you want to put it between
my thighs.
She had a lot going on for her.
I don't understand.
Just to say that?
God.
Yeah. Between my thighs?
And so, like, I went home, and then, like, I did the thing where I'm like, all right, how do I tell her I'm not into her? So I just, like, played it off for the next couple of days. When she was like, hey, do you want to, like, go out again? I'm like, actually, I've been meaning to tell you, like, I'm not into it. And she's like, okay, for sure. And she, like, handled it really maturely, which I didn't expect. So I thought that was the end of the story. I thought that was the end of the story.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what? This is bonus feature. We never heard this before.
I was telling somebody about this a little later,
Oh.
and I remembered her name, and I looked her up. I was just like, let's just see what this girl's at right now. So shortly after our date, and I say shortly, but it was like 8 months later of our date, I like looked her up, and I found a bunch of news articles written about her because she got a DUI being a wrong way driver on the freeway.
My
and she was
God.
arrested and went to jail. That was the last thing I ever heard about her. For everyone listening, everyone has their mouths open.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's not going to be nursing any longer.
Insane. I don't know what happened. Like I never spoke to her again.
How old was she? Do you know?
I mean, let's see. Like I remember she was 23.
Okay.
So
She's
what
30
year?
now.
Yeah,
31.
she's.
Well, I don't mean now.
right
I
around
meant
my
back-
age.
Back in the day. She was 23.
23. Yeah.
That's a party stage, I guess.
Put it between my thighs.
Put it between my thighs. Watch this video of this guy putting a jar in his ass.
I think here's how I see
I know a
it.
few nurses.
Here's
that
how I
I
see it.
wanna see.
Are you trying to justify this girl's
No.
He's really getting ready, too. He's going to explain this.
So, yeah, it's weird, right?
A little bit.
Thank you.
Here's what makes it weird. Like, it's not just put it between my thighs on its own, all right?
Yeah.
It's the fact that it was paired with, there's some dumpsters over there. I think that's what makes it weird. I've sped up with birds in the street. I've done that before.
Wait.
But it's not, the bastards got away from me. That's what makes it weird. Yeah, I can understand showing that horrible video.
Why can you understand?
Not on
Wait,
the first date.
you're kind of a dick.
Not
Holy
on the
shit.
first date.
I break for birds.
Me too. Dude, you know how many times I swerve out the way and I get a camera, fucking red flag, and then I get called?
They're going to fly away.
No, it's not all the time.
But there's a chance they
I've never
don't.
hit one.
But you go after them. I go away from them.
Have you hit one?
Because I go away.
Hitting is not a word.
You hitting that? You hitting that? That's what it means.
Okay. Yeah.
So you actually go after birds?
I don't want to talk about the birds anymore.
What the fuck is happening? Ethonian.
You guys are lying if you've never sped up with pigeons in the street.
I have not. I stopped
swerve.
for the birds.
I swerve out the way. I get really sad.
Don't try to pass off your
sadistic.
sadistic tendencies as things everyone's done.
This man said, I get the whole bird thing, as if that's like a normal fucking thing that we all think about.
And I get the jar thing.
And I get the jar thing, too.
It's the dumpster. That's the problem for me.
I get the thighs thing,
don't
too.
get-
It's just the fact that it's a dumpster. It's kind of
the
dirty.
jar thing.
It's kind of dirty. If she would have said, like, put it between my thighs in the car, fine, why not? We're here. Sure.
You guys are
You
twisting
said-
my words.
You said
You're
this.
twisting my words.
What the fuck is going on here? Go to Laughlin tomorrow. And I'm not hourly.
I'm crying.
The jar thing is weird, okay?
For the first date, you said. I'm going to also bring that back up.
If I knew about that video, Yeah, I'd probably show some people.
Why?
What the?
Have you seen Two Girls, One Cup?
I've never seen it. I've only heard
Me
about
either.
it.
So why the fuck would you show someone? Didn't that guy die too?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's fucking dead.
I don't want to know the backstory.
I think he.
Here's
tore-
what makes it weird: the fact that she thought it was the funniest thing ever. That's what I'm trying to
Agreed.
argue.
And I
That
chalked,
is part of it.
I
yes.
chalked that up to nurse humor, something I'll never understand. But
I don't know if I want to.
The wrong way driving. I mean, we've all been there.
we've all killed someone, right?
Did she kill someone?
No.
Oh, okay.
He just
But you're-
turned 21, by the
You're
way,
just
guys.
going down the checklist of things we've all done. So
We're getting a lot of red flags from
Do you want to
I'm
put
gonna-
it between my thighs? I think that's a hilarious line.
we've all said that
I
once or
would like
twice.
to, yes.
you. I'm gonna have to unsubscribe.
Okay,
Vertigo.
if the bird thing didn't happen, if the jar thing didn't happen, and then she's driving you back to your car, right? And she's like, "Do you want to put it between my thighs?" What would your response be then? Would it be like, "Oh, that's the first weird thing she's done,"
Well, if
or would it
that
seem
we-
pretty
is that
normal in
weird?
the context?
well, if
that
the
weird to you,
if
bro?
the jar thing didn't happen and
Is
the bird
it?
thing didn't happen, I probably would have gone home with
and
her.
you would have put it between.
Well, no, I would have put
in a
it
dumpster.
inside of her. But
You would have actually gone home and not done the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Not
that
behind
was
the dumpster?
No, because that was the second option because he had work the next morning. He lied, quote unquote.
well, I didn't lie. I did have work next
At 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
he's a truthful man.
for the right person, you'd be willing.
Oh,
to,
100%.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Wow. I mean, talk about getting comfortable with somebody really fast. To do
I
all
think
that.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, she was very comfortable,
Or she's
very
just
quick.
Not aware of
what are your
her-
messages saying? You said you guys talked for like a week or 2 weeks before that.
I mean,
You guys got-
again, it was a total shock. This came out of complete left field. That's a sports term, and
Oh,
so
whoa,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
It's a hockey term too.
yeah.
He said sports. He didn't say a specific
I'm
sport.
hip,
I know.
but
No joke. It's a baseball term. I love baseball.
it was shocking. Like it had never been. It was very cute and innocent. You know, I don't know.
Until the jar.
Until the jar.
I'm gonna be honest. I think his worst first date wins.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, I went to bowling
His-
alleys, but
Oh yeah, hands down. Hands down.
I mean, you had someone talk about Jacob.
Yeah.
I was just bowling alleys, and that was the worst.
Used to people talking about Jacob, so it happens.
So every time you have a new guest in here, please ask them their worst.
Worst first date
Date
story.
experience.
Yeah, you guys used to talk about like your first like what's it?
ghosts.
ghost
Yeah.
stories, and now it's about
Haven't been getting a lot of those, unfortunately.
really.
I have some guests lined up for this summer, so
Looking forward to it.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Notifications, gang.
Notifications, gang.
Noti gang.
I can't think of any other bad first dates I've been on.
I'm pretty great.
I
I agree.
I also agree.
Lucy and I, for the record, great first date.
Was it?
Sammy and I, great first date.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Shout out Sammy.
Lucy
Paul and I,
Southampton.
great first date.
Wait, what?
Oh,
we speaking of getting very comfortable really quick, Lucy and I did. We took a nap together after we had brunch on our first date.
first time meeting each other.
First time.
But you had to drive to like Tucson, huh?
I did, yeah.
Like a 2-hour
It
drive.
was like an hour and a half. Yeah.
Let's just round it up because like
Like
5'8", 5'9".
we went to high school together. We'd been talking for
5'8", 5'9".
not that long, granted, but
Paul and I, good first date. He didn't like me at first.
Oh, funny thing about Brett. I'm just gonna say this now, right? So let's hear it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but
This is the normal time we usually start the show, so we're good.
is it really? Okay, poor Jacob. But anyways,
feeling it.
hey, I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to Laughlin. So
Shut
so.
He has no air conditioning.
I'm gonna go backwards a little bit, and I don't get paid hourly. I'm gonna go backwards, right? So I was working at Spencer's at the time. I remember this. Patrick calls me, right? His dad was just on him, like just on him about getting a job, right? And the funny thing about Patrick is like, how many times, Jacob, have we been playing video games with him, and his dad comes in just yelling at him, and then he pulls his mic out, and Patrick has that kind of family, right?
That's my Theo right there.
And so I remember I'm laying on the couch, I'm watching
He's like
something.
23 at that time.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. And so I'm laying on the couch, and then he calls me. He's like, dude, my dad's fucking on me. Can I get a job? I was like, Patrick, I've been trying to give you a job. I got you. So I text Lacey, and I'm like,
manager at Spencer's.
my manager, right? So I've known her. We're really close. I was like, hey, can Pat have a job? And she's like, yeah. So I sent him like literally within 5 minutes. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. So I'm like, all right, Pat, you got a job. He's like, all right, cool. Because my fucking dad, well, going on, like he's all pissed. So me and Patrick start working together. This is like the summer. All right. So at the time at Spencer's, it's basically like all women and then just me and Pat as the guys. And then Lacey tells us, she's like, yeah, you know, she explains a story about how she went out and, like, had some drinks with, like, her other manager, which is, like, her best friend. So a manager at PV, we're at Arrowhead. And she's like, yeah, I met this one guy, basically, you know, and I'm gonna hire him. And so me and Pat were like, oh, shit, we got competition now. We got another guy coming, right? And so we know his starting date. We know his name's Brett. And so we're at the mall for some reason. And we're like, hey, let's go check out, you know, let's go see who this guy is.
You were there for that reason. Don't say for some reason.
I really don't remember why we were there. We were shopping.
Oh, yeah, shopping.
reason.
That was your excuse.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You work at the mall and then you decide to go when you're not working? Okay.
I never go to the mall.
Makes sense.
So we're at the mall, and then we walk in, and all we do is we take like 5 steps into Spencer's, right? And we look, and we see Lacey talking to this 6'3", just tall hunk of a man, and we're like, "Fuck, dude!" Me and Patrick just walked out. We were pissed. You know, Patrick's 5'6".
He's not 6 feet. Let's just
say he's short king, right? And so we're just like, "Fuck, we got competition." And it's not that we didn't like Brett. We were just like, "Oh."
You don't like the idea of me.
And
It's
then
just competition.
And then we just became friends.
I mean, because I also was in a committed relationship and it wasn't any competition whatsoever.
No, he was competition still, dude. You get a 6'3" guy.
That's how you
in
met
there.
Brett. You and my cousin met Brett, and then you became friends with Jacob. And then,
Shout out to Patrick's dad.
And then Jacob wanted to do D&D, and then that's how we met Brett. And it's just look
I
at
mean,
us now.
it's because I already played D&D, and I would just spend all my shifts with Paul talking about my D&D campaign.
Which he had great. He's a great storyteller.
What would your quirk be?
My quirk.
Oh, fucking Bob! Gosh, damn Bob.
For another time.
It's a great question. I don't know.
That's a great question.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick's dad for yelling at Patrick to get offline and then just leaving me with Jacob.
Yeah.
We were just like, you want to keep playing?
Dude, that, like, oh, my cousin's friend from work.
It was like we played 2 weeks together.
We'll play, I guess.
And then it was like, I gotta go, guys.
I gotta go, guys.
And then it was like, well, I'm not gonna hop off, so.
Oh, you want to keep playing? Okay.
And I think I met you in Austin that way, like, barely.
Probably.
And then
Most
it was, hey, let's go to Thanksgiving. I only go up to the church back in the day when it was, like, events.
And then we lived together.
And then we lived together.
Wild.
It's fun. I miss those days.
And then your landlord had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, we would technically we still be living together right now. We would have had that house. Yeah. Gosh, what a weird time.
Love you, Paul.
Shout out, Paul.
Love you more.
Shout out, Paul. Love
Shout
that
out,
guy.
Paul.
Shout out, Patrick.
Shout out Jacob and Patrick. And
Shout out, Lacey.
Shout out Lacey.
Lacey's cool. I might see her tomorrow. I'm going to Laughlin, so.
Oh, you have anything planned for tomorrow?
All right.
Also, like, what way are you paid? Like, are you salary or?
Right now I'm commissioned, so I'm not hourly. So tomorrow I'm going to pick up your cousin, take him to school. I'm going to
Saucy.
then we'll get a haircut.
Take him to school.
I'm going to go buy cigars. I might stop by, say hi to my old boss. And then I'm going to go to the gym, get a nice little pump. And then I'm going to pick up your cousin.
From school?
And we're going to from school.
From third grade?
From third grade school when he's done checking out. And then we're going to pick up my other cousin. And then we're going to go to Laughlin. And all I need to know is red or black.
All right.
No.
No, Jacob, you need to pick one.
No, because then you can blame me, and I'm not giving you that.
No, it's going to be a vote. So if you say you vote for the minority,
No, I never vote for the minority. My vote is
the
final.
majority.
Oh, so you heard it here first. Jacob did not vote for Barack Obama.
That's correct.
He was under.
2008
He
when
was
I was
underage. 12. He wasn't legally elected.
Yeah, so with the polls,
I didn't on account I was 12.
He said that is correct. I was 12. Oh man, politics, fun stuff. You can't think of a damn thing to say.
with the because I was blanking with the polls.
very good.
No Gavin versus
shit.
Wild this week. We're actually extending the voting,
Polls.
which is why there wasn't a poll last week.
And we're not going to do a Paul versus Wild because we all know he'd fuck
Yeah,
up the
Paul
whole
would win
entire thing.
easily.
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Of course.
All right, so I heard this on another podcast, right? If you can fight any animal, what would it be? But here's the kicker. They either come down to your level or they grow to your level.
So like an equal fight.
An equal fight. So like, here's the thing I'm staying away from. I'm staying away from ants. Those motherfuckers can lift like what 7 times their weight. So imagine
I've seen Ant-Man. Yeah,
imagine them becoming like our like.
So we're just talking about size. Like it just becomes your size.
It becomes
like
your size.
everything else scales.
So like if it was like a gorilla, right? It would come down to your size.
Hell no.
No, but
that's
it would
an example.
But it wouldn't be
yeah.
like so. Like an ant comes to your size, it can lift, 5 times its weight at your size. So it's like
It's crazy.
So you guys have to really think about like.
I mean, even a small gorilla, that'd be scary. I'd fight like a slug or something.
Yeah, someone was like, "Can you imagine like a worm?
Oh god, I feel like that'd still be hard.
It would like grow. Yeah, it'd still be hard."
I would just do a cat so I could pet my cat to be the same size as me.
You can't. You gotta fight
It's a
it.
tiger.
Pigeon.
It's a tiger. Yeah, it's basically a pigeon. No, birds. Birds are out.
I'd use my car though.
Birds are out.
Probably a goose.
A
So-
goose.
So what I heard was
Goose
the
are
number
mean, I
number one
thought.
answer technically was a giraffe.
That's the first thing my mind went to.
Shut the fuck
You-
up,
I mean,
dude.
you could snap that neck pretty easy, I'm sure.
Yeah, if it was your size. That's a good
Well,
answer.
think about it because it's gonna get weaker as it comes down.
Yeah. Is it?
I think so.
Because doesn't Ant-Man get stronger as he gets smaller?
Just because of density.
Density, exactly.
But I mean, does density rules
Exactly.
apply in this hypothetical fantasy
You
scenario?
Probably
gotta
not.
take in everything you can.
A tuna fish.
If the ant gets
big-ass
stronger
tuna fish?
as it gets bigger,
size.
then I think it's the same thing.
On land, I like that. I like those odds.
On land, I like those odds.
A whale, I like those odds. He's a mammal. You come into me. You come into my store.
An orca.
So
Shit.
I will post the poll for Gavin versus Wild, which is Gavin with a mace versus an adult female alligator.
Oh yeah, he says.
And the reason it's female is because Gavin stole the baby gator eggs. So
Anger.
angry mama is what we're going
baby
with.
gator eggs.
That is the first poll. The second poll will be simply red or black.
No context.
No context, except I need to give you some context.
It has to be done by
Yeah,
What time is it?
I'll post it tonight.
because I will do it within the 24-hour span.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will stay. I guess I'll stay up and I'll stay up gambling. You guys are really twisting my ankle.
Twisting my ankle.
But yeah, that's
laying my ankle.
so. Once the poll for Gavin versus Wild is up, then go ahead and vote for that, and then we will continue Gavin versus Wild next week.
Shout out, Gavin.
Shout out Gavin.
Shout out Gavin.
Gavin?
Gabby Wabby.
Shout out Gavin. Just kidding.
Brett, do you think you can take on any animal?
I just would be friends with them, so I'm good.
What color are their bellies? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Brett likes lizards.
They're cool, yeah. Color of their bellies, yeah.
So I've heard.
Hey, real quick, so you know what's funny is like after the time I was on podcast, right? It was like the next day. I was with my dad, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, you think you could like fight a tiger?" And he's like, "You know my dad, Jacob." So he's like, "Fuck yeah!" So he's like, and then so we got serious, and I was like, "No, seriously though, like you think you could fight like any animal?" He's like, "Well." Fuck yeah, dude! Like I'll be pissed, so I'll figure a way out. Like I'll fucking shove my hand down its throat, and I was like, "That's the same
We
thing."
see where you get it.
I'm like, dude, no lie. I was like, "That's where I get it from." So then we went and had Streets of New York, and we had pizza.
They have good thin crust pizza.
They do have thin crust pizza, and I had a Blue Moon.
Very nice.
But yeah, so my dad was like all about like, "Yeah, I'll figure a way
100%.
out."
I can see your dad saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny too. In his truck, he's all happy. It's like, oh fuck yeah, I'll get mad and I'll figure a way out. Yeah, exactly. I'll get mad and I'll figure a way out. I was like, that's the mentality that Gavin needs.
Yeah, Gavin needs help every step of the way. I'm talking about Gavin versus Wild, guys.
Oh, yes. Okay, then I agree. Yeah.
He probably needs help at work right now too. Everyone's fucking calling off.
That's true.
We should go stop in.
I think they're closed now.
Oh, well, then why isn't he here?
He is here.
Spirit.
Exquisite.
Ah, there you are, Gavin.
He just showed up.
All right. Well, Brett, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to shout out or plug before we part ways?
No, I mean, yeah, I've been on here before. You know, we have my podcast, Rotten Gems. We just talk about movies we love. Nothing else has changed. I just love all you guys.
Shout out Sammy, miss her.
Shout out Sammy.
Shout out Sammy.
I don't know if she listens, but shout out Sammy.
She'll probably listen to this.
Woo! Better fighter. Shout out Noodle.
Jacob, what's the Jakey factuality of the week?
Shut up, Bug.
I forgot I even had that. Yeah, I do have it, though.
I was like, I told you.
So this one is going to be trivia-ish.
Ooh.
In addition to the fact. So what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for?
Oh, everybody knows this. It's it.
Is it either Jaws or Jurassic Park?
Neither.
Hold on.
For Best Director. Sorry.
Best
that was the
Director.
preface.
This is like a low-key movie.
Which, I mean, you could still probably guess.
Is it
No, actually, it's
before 2000s or after? If it's for Best
Before,
Director.
I think.
Okay.
The Shining.
Go ahead. Lay it
I
on
don't
us.
know.
It is Schindler's List.
I can see it. I haven't seen it, but I can see it.
Now, the fact in accordance with that... Oh, shit. I think I lost it.
Speaking of Schindler.
Oh, found it.
Better go find it.
Did you know that Steven Spielberg, he actually refused to accept a salary for making that movie?
Wait, what? He
Yeah.
did that for free?
He didn't make any money. He donated a bunch to
I mean,
the Foundation for Supporting Holocaust
if
Survivors.
there's any movie to do that for,
Oh,
Shout
yeah,
out
of
Steven
course.
Spielberg.
He said like it'd feel like blood money. So.
yeah,
But yeah, he didn't accept any salary.
stand-up guy.
That's actually kudos.
Did you know he used to sneak into Universal Studios until he got a job there? Like he just kept wandering on set, and then one day they're like, "Hey,
I can see it.
So speaking of Steven Spielberg and speaking of Schindler's List, I forgot the actor's name.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. So you guys remember The Gray?
yeah."
I always think of that movie
I
every
love that
time you
movie.
guys
When we
say
talk about
Gavin
fighting a
versus
wolf.
Yeah,
we
I'm
want
like,
to do a wolf, but we're like, oh, the gray.
here's the thing, dude. I'll fucking fight a wolf.
Speaking of one of the most recent Rotten Gems episode, we did Taken. Great episode.
Ooh, he did.
I love Taken.
can't believe
I
that's
was
certified
disappointed
rotten.
that it was rotten. They made 3 of them.
The other two deserve to be rotten, but the first one,
True.
Fair.
I do like
I don't think
listening
that's
to
fair
that.
at all.
2 and 3.
Okay, in the third one, they had a scene of him jumping over a fence, and they used 11 different camera angles to capture that.
That's what I hate about a lot of blockbuster action movies, especially early 2000s. I know Taken 3 wasn't early 2000s, but a lot of their action sequences, especially fight scenes, are
cuts.
quick cuts to simulate the idea of action because your actors
But
can't
yeah,
do
it was
action.
literally just him jumping over a fence. It did not deserve
11 cuts.
11 cuts of the one scene.
Prove it. Show me.
That poor
kidding.
editor.
I'll show you after this.
I
yeah.
know. Imagine.
I mean, that poor... It was the editor that made that mistake.
No?
He must have had not very much to work with.
Yeah, he was probably
to
like
cut together
he
that
was
much.
really like
Probably
trying. He was.
He's like, I need this to make sense.
He deserves an Academy Award.
All right, cool. That's
Director
an interesting
behind
fact.
it. More cuts.
More cuts.
More.
Oh, let me talk about 7, sir.
Cool. Be sure to follow us on social media at OEF White Noise on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube, which is One-Eyed Fits. And then be sure to leave a comment because we will read your comment, and this is going to be...
Guys, leave a fucking comment.
Yeah, leave a comment, guys, or else we're just going to keep reading Brett's comments.
I didn't want to comment this week because I knew I was going to be on.
We're going to... How many comments we got on here? So,
Just
from...
keep reading Brett's comment.
I'll read this one. From J, just the letter J, still waiting for Black by Pearl Jam to be Song of the Week. If only Gavin saw this, and then a sad face. Well, too bad Gavin can't see it because he's not here. But with that, we will make Black by Pearl Jam the Song of the Week this week.
Hey,
So that is the Song of the Week.
Jay.
Be sure to go listen to it. Let us know your thoughts below. Leave a comment for a pretty good chance of it to be read.
You have like a 50-50 chance competing with me.
It's like a 30% chance.
Brett's going to comment on this episode that he's on, and we're going to read that for
I'll be like, great
live.
episode, fellas.
I really like that guest speaker, Brett.
Be sure to vote for Gavin versus Wild and vote for Black or Red for no specific reason. And then,
And do it within 24 hours.
well, it'll only be up for 24 hours.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's how Instagram stories work, Paul.
Stop it.
Stop it. Yeah, but if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. Look at that, 9 yards.
Oof, that's another one.
Support.
The longest yard, even.
The longest
The
yards. even.
longest.
Appreciate you for joining us, and appreciate having Brett as a guest and Paul as a guest host. Love to see it. And anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
Oh, rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
Exquisite.
Oh, exquisite.
And there we go. With that, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.